No puedo quejarme. Piripiripi. Ginga minga yo. Oh, wait.
Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and today's video is about misinformation and PayPal. Oh boy, PayPal made a big solid...
Por mientras estoy esperando a que venga Gustav a mi partida de Shalamerun, mientras veo mis videos. Eso es todo. Lo único triste es que aún no puedo resolver el problema de que se me vean los bordes verdes, porque eso ya no es la imagen, eso es el programa que me está tomando el verde donde no tengo. Llegó Gustav. Muy bien. Hijo, su última partida fue horrible. Y yo que la última partida... Esta fue mi última partida, bastante buena. Yo que le gané al cojones Osuna. Vamos que se puede. Escribiéndole, diciéndole eso. Bueno, veré mi video por mientras. No tiene subtítulos, eso sí. Pero bueno.
Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, as somebody on this channel, I've covered a lot of scams, things on the deep web, you know, creepypastas, whatever. I can safely say that throughout my entire YouTube career, I have had to sit down and demystify and be part of something where I've literally had to be a fact checker on this channel numerous times. Some of the most popular videos on this channel have been about fact checking and countering misinformation. Now, misinformation is everywhere in the world, and one thing that I want to start off by saying is, who defines misinformation? Now, let's not be obtuse here, okay? When I think of things like misinformation, I think of obviously statements that are not verified by fact, right? Statements that are objectively false, right? For anybody to make any claim on things regarding medicine, finances, the world, I think experts need to be present. A few experts. Experts that can all sit together, and then you basically take the aggregate of all their information and move on forward. I think a great example is talking about things like the flat earth. There's a conspiracy in the world where people believe that the earth is flat. Obviously, we all know it's a fucking joke, right? Hopefully. I'm sure there's going to be some people in the comments going, hey, Muda, maybe the earth is flat. Now, there's a lot of information out in the world that you yourself can look up, source, and understand that the earth is not actually flat. Hell, you can buy a weather balloon, attach a GoPro to it, send it to the goddamn stratosphere, take photos of it. You can literally get skeptics to take those photos themselves, and they'll still actually believe the earth is flat, right? Some people just believe whatever they want to believe, and I've been down a path trying to convince people in my life that certain things were wrong, and guess what? At that point, you just have to learn to ignore it and move on with your life, because no amount of convincing is going to matter. But misinformation is information that can easily be countered, and should be easily countered, with actual provable facts. Now that we've gotten past the whole spiel,
al menos ahora está más fácil la ola que la anterior tenía. Bastante. Ganamos, pero igual había bastante.
$2,500 from users' accounts if they promote misinformation. Now, misinformation, that's a pretty strong.
When I spread misinformation on the internet.
$2,500, it seems per offense of you committing misinformation.
De hecho, eso pasó hace técnicamente hace un rato.
Literally just a payment processor, not a social media platform, get to decide how they find you. Now, to understand, obviously,
voy a ayudar a este tipo.
But PayPal finding people on their own decision really puts a question up to, are these payment processing services going above and beyond? Obviously, you know, if we look into payment processing services, there's not a whole lot of them out in the world. You've got PayPal, you've got Venmo,
está bastante fácil.
Owned by PayPal. Actually, wait, let me do a quick fact check on that. Here, right on Venmo's own website, they're part of the PayPal family. Hell, even some of these services are part of other services. They're just part of the same ones. You've got Cash App, you've got the banking system, you've got whatever. And a lot of these services do get to decide on how certain people get to conduct themselves on the internet or in reality. Sites like Visa and MasterCard could literally refuse service to the average website and absolutely cripple it. There was a controversy back in the days regarding an adult website which
como desprecio PayPal.
use restricted by MasterCard and Visa. And it almost fell doom and gloom to their entire platform.
Más que nada porque,
these examples should
bueno,
make you think that
te digo,
there are very few companies in the world that control just the payment processing side of the world that can absolutely control how things are conducted on the internet, okay? And of course, when it comes to legality and finances, I think we all can agree, right, that if it comes to like drug bosses, human traffickers, you know, actual criminals, real criminals, their money should be completely rejected by banks or PayPal or really any payment processor. And it is. We do not allow criminal entities to willingly operate freely in banking systems. But again, when it comes to the average user, okay, now it seems like PayPal, all right, does have some level of grip on the person's conduct regarding their services. If you promote misinformation, as these headlines claim, PayPal can fine you $2,500.
Te encontraré.
Again, it seems like this is
Qué mal.
instance. Now again, I looked into it and I decided, hey, in order to understand if this is not misinformation, let's do a fact check ourselves. Now, according to these articles, they link directly to paypalobjects.com/marketing/UA/PDF. So it literally is on PayPal's own website. Now, if you go to that link right now, you'll notice that that link leads you to a blank PDF. So PayPal apparently did walk this back, or they actually claimed that this wasn't even supposed to be a thing, and it kind of just got sent out in error, which does happen from time to time in a company. But since this is a blank PDF, I wanted to see if this was actually something PayPal wanted to do. So all I did was I took this URL, I copied it, I went to our friends over at the Wayback Machine, so I'm going to do it right now in front of you, just to prove to you, alright, we can do this all together. Let's go to the Wayback Machine, let's drop that URL right in there, and let's go check in the history for it. So right here, let's go to somewhere around October 6th, and let's click on this snapshot of that page. Now this should show us an actual working PDF. So again, we've got the same PDF URL. Again, if we take this URL right here,
no sabe dónde
and we
ponerse.
drop it into a brand new, I guess you could say, page, a tab, it'll be a blank PDF. But as of October 6th, Wayback Machine captured this PDF right here, last updated on November 3rd, 2022. So again, you can see that this wasn't really supposed to come out. This is a post date, you know, a month from now, and of course, we're reading it earlier. So again, if we do Control F here, and we type in misinformation, like so, we'll get sent to point prohibited activities, right? And in prohibited activities,
malditos
this is
bichos.
what we're going to read together. So involving the sending, posting, or publication of any messages, content, or materials that in PayPal's sole discretion, so again, no other arbiter gets to decide what this information is, other than PayPal, it seems, are harmful, obscene, harassing, or objection.
Tenemos 0 huevos.
Depict or appear to depict nudity. Which basically
No se dé la vuelta. Malditos bichos, ¿por qué empujan tanto?
And you use PayPal as your payment processor, you are actually violating their guidelines, and they can fine you or probably just remove you right from their service. Again, this really hurts people that are in an entire sector that, you know, makes a lot of money, but apparently the industry or the world around you wants to demonize people for making that kind of money. See, depict or promote
Hola,
illegal drug
sis.
use. So
José, ¿cómo anda? Hola, senpai, ¿ahora está rosado o está bien? ¿Cómo anda la vida? Ando jugando con Gustav.
Or sorry, letter E. Depict, promote, or
Eso
incite
es todo.
hatred or discrimination of protected groups or of individuals or groups based on protected characteristics. So race, religion, gender
Y otra
identity,
vez
sexual
escuchando
orientation, etc.
videos.
So I guess you can't, if you're a hate...
Aunque no me... Ya no me tincó mucho, quiero ver este otro ahora. Nice comercial, bro.
Hay muchas cosas que tienen peros.
Vieron esta tontera. Ñaca, 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 ñaca. Se lo cambia. No me tendrás metido en tus reglas, me dice. Ok. ¿Tenemos la tormenta o no?
Which is crazy because, you know, I was busy having a good time at the event, moves a little business, trying not to get fired by Susan Wojcicki. So I decided to dig in with all the things that were wrong with TwitchCon. I will say off
Vi esa noticia de que en TwitchCon habían puesto esta como poza de pelotas. ¡No! ¿Verdad que los bichos aparecen por cualquier lado aquí? Oh no.
specifically for Minecrafters, which mostly feels like it might
Eh,
hurting the Minecraft.
tengo el arma más débil del mundo.
People are boycotting the streams of XQC, Hassan, and Mizkip, who are gladly live and thriving on Twitch right now. So,
De hecho, no es broma, toma bastante tiempo matar con esta arma.
of everything wrong at TwitchCon, someone who was at TwitchCon, had almost 100,000 likes. But one of the things on it was about how they were turning away people with bags.
Ah, la noticia de Twitch con que habían puesto así esa como lugar de pelota y la gente se estaba rompiendo la espalda. Bueno, como todos probablemente, pero la graciosa es que estaba tan mal hecho. Pero no tiene subtítulos, esto, no revisé. Misa me baneó hace 10 minutos y todavía no me desbanea, así que vine a tu stream. Claro, soy el plan B. Este cis, que le gusta andar molestando al miso. Bastante rara esa partida, no esperaba que muriéramos en la partida más pasiva. Una persona se le rompió el brazo y el otro la pierna. Había escuchado que la streamer, se me olvidó el nombre, su nombre, Chechik, se había roto la parte de la colita por la espalda. Cayó literalmente de poto en el concreto. Ay, no, ahí se ve, parece. Ay, era ella que cayó de colita, de poto así. Vamos a sacar estas cajas. Bueno. No sabía en qué enfocarme. La muerte de...
Losing things in the booth is one thing, but I think you also don't want to jump into that foam pit, which I didn't realize because I also was in that foam pit without knowing any of this happened, and I did it after it all happened. So thankfully nothing happened to me. Not the only injury, by the way, that happened at TwitchCon. We had another one here. They were doing the Balloon World Cup, the buy event, and right here on the right side, play that one more time. This streamer broke her ankle. Picture of it. Summers. It's been an overwhelming 48 hours, but I'm okay, and I'm back at home wrestling. I want to thank everyone who wished me well. You go down without a bang. I broke my ankle in any possible way.
Nice.
So a couple injuries, safety concerns.
Ay.
But the safety concerns
Sandía frita. Wait, what? ¿Qué quiere decir eso? ¿El nombre de alguien? No, nada que ver. Se fríe la sandía.
They just dragged a chair for him and had him hold his own mic. Kind of weird. That had 400 person capacity. Okay.
Griller.
We're talking about Dream after face reveal with all the biggest Minecrafters doing a panel with a 400 person capacity at an event with over 30,000 attendees.
Bueno, que alcanzó ahí.
Our teenage Minecraft fans. So there were lines out the door
Okay,
that were 5x the amount of people who were actually allowed in, which created a lot of
No puedo pegarle en la cola porque nadie se da la vuelta conmigo al lado.
Very difficult for people with accessibility issues, people with wheelchairs, to even try to get into a lot of these events.
Hola. Hola, me falló.
And that's part of the reason why a lot of the Minecraft
Hola.
community was upset. That they just felt like not only did their
Como no me sigue a mí.
creators get the short end of the stick, but all the viewers who were just excited to see their content creators didn't feel like Twitch was
Un bicho de tiburón de mierda y bichos de mierda. Todo mal. Lo activé y me empujaron igual. Ayuda.
They wrote she, her, although Angie goes by any pronouns. So, like, she, her is not wrong, but it also makes people think that she really goes by she, her. And if your company's gonna be like that, hey, we're left-leaning, we're liberal as fuck, teens,
¿Qué le pasa?
as hell. You know, you gotta do it right. You gotta do it right. There's a lot of employees inside of Twitch who are all about it, but the people who probably write things on the prompter are just doing their job. Don't know, right? So So it always comes across a little bit boomerang and very
No, se movió para allá.
and this is another moment where they're out of touch.
Ay, ay, ay.
He's pronounced wrong.
No puedo pegarle la cola porque nadie se da vuelta. ¿De qué cola hablamos? Mi cola, pues, senpai. La cola del bicho. Justamente lo digo y se ponen a hablar de eso en el video. También vi en Twitter que se habían equivocado con los pronombres. A ese no lo había visto.
Good question.
Again, more myths busted. So we apply our rules very consistently.
You want this to be the last YouTube
Oh.
ad you ever see? Well, switch your browser and block them all. That's right, no YouTube ads.
Ah, tengo que darle plata de alguna forma a la gente.
That is an actual sentence that was said. But
¿Cómo?
I thought that was
Senpai.
and one of the crazier things that happened.
Al menos no ha bajado del puesto. Gustavo empezó a jugar aquí desde aquí conmigo. Hemos ganado en la última oleada. Mira, esta última partida estaba muy buena, ¿eh? Todo está arriba de 30 huevos. Y todo hicimos arriba de 1000 de daño. Qué triste. Bueno, se ve mi cabeza encima, desafortunadamente, pero créanme. Como ven, 1000 de daño y al menos eso.
Because this woman was by herself, all the people that went up to her swarmed her. She was crowded, and one random guy, one creepy ass dude, licked her face, which is just fucked. And you know, you would hope there's slightly better security for the streamers, and it's even across the board. But it felt like there was just a bit of a lapse there. It seemed like there was a huge disconnect between the security who actually ran the convention space and the security.
Puta, creo que le anda pasando cosas en mi internet, no lo sé. Fotogramas perdidos por red, 2%. Ok. Oh, mi oreja izquierda.
She's talking about how a lot of people were verbally abusive.
Ah, los vocalodos.
And we're kind of socially inept. Which, not too wrong when you're talking about stream viewers, all things considered. You know, Twitch clearly has grown a lot, and it's a lot harder to run an event at the scale now, and there's a lot to learn from this for them. Generally, most of the...
¿Qué le pasó a mi bomba?
But clearly a few big problems. Not to mention, I have to call this out, a lot of the bullying and harassment that happens.
Los huevitos con lag, como siempre. Creo que está muy grande la imagen, ¿o no? No sé qué tanto tapará el video. Pero bueno.
Yo, I told y'all.
Ok, bye, huevo.
Big ass nigga in the fucking spot.
Yeah.
Yo, what did I tell? Yo, Lovick first of all is cool as fuck.
I'm just dancing. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like Twitch should allow this bullying. Anyway, boys, that's about everything that went wrong with TwitchCon. If there's anything else I missed, let me know. And thanks for watching. Subscribe. Have a good one. See you later, boys. See ya. Have a good one. See you later. Goodbye.
Ay, me pegan en el poto. El bicho. Pues se me terminó el video. Ay. Quítese. No puedo acercarme. No soy la mejor arma para matar bichitos chiquitos. Denme huevitos de poder. Huevos, la jugadora tryhard, la agarradora de huevos profesional. No me gustan esos nombres que me estás dando ahora mismo, senpai. La agarra huevos. Mámame el huevo. El chupapijas extremo. ¿Qué video podría estar ahora? ¿Este? Ah, sí, el de este streamer baneó a todas las mujeres de su chat.
En la Asociación Chilena de Seguridad abrimos nuestras puertas para entregar salud no laboral a la comunidad.
No, la comunidad.
How's it going, boys? Welcome back
Qué
to
mala
Mobile
soy.
Mail. Okay,
Qué malo
I've
se
been
vio
gone
eso.
for a couple of weeks. I can admit that, but goddamn, this Jason R thing's crazy. So let's talk about it. If you don't know, Jason R is a pretty big Twitch streamer. He has almost 1 million followers, and he is most importantly known because he does not play with women
Uh-oh.
ever. he queues up with a woman in the game. He would mute them or dodge the game and basically leave and start up a new one. And even banned women from his chat for being women. This is some logs.
Ay, no.
And then they got banned.
No pude ir para atrás, no me
That's
dejaban.
just one example. Here's another one. This is
Bueno,
a
ahí
viewer
va.
chatting with a mod. Said, I don't know why I'm banned from chat. Long story. You're not the only one. Go back and forth for a while. Yeah, basically, it's not just he bans all girls in his chat. I think it's something to do with his girlfriend. So this has been known. This has been
Okay,
known for a
aquí se
while.
acaba.
Rumored 4 years ago that Jason R was doing this. And resurfaced over the past few months because I think he got bigger in Valorant. And we've pretty much stayed at, holy shit, Jason R is, first of all, weird, doing weird shit, and 2, sexist. Because he just doesn't play with women because
No, mentira, no
they
quiso
are
decir
women.
eso.
And it kind of all came to a head on stream a couple nights ago with
¿Por qué todo el rato tengo que volver a ponerle
one of
que lo
my favorite
traduzca?
Valorant streamers. He hopped in. He's friends with Jason R, right? Because they've known each other. They've played games for a long, long time. And this conversation happened.
You didn't say that fucking. You didn't say that.
Say
one
what?
time. Month and a half. But
What?
guess what? I had people
know,
like
it's-
fucking train wrecks coming in and saying fucking back
Mona
me up.
china,
I had
mona
people
china.
like fucking Mo
Sí,
coming
soy
in,
yo.
backing me up. Sabrosa backing me up. All these people who were saying things.
Qué sad.
Character.
La
So
partida más
basically,
sad.
Jason R is lighting up Tarek for not having his back through him.
No
being
hemos ganado
talking
ninguna,
sexist.
solamente perdemos al final.
What-
Al
what-
menos no subimos ni bajamos de rango, pero en ese último sí
You
perdimos.
chose to be a fucking girl about it and just wouldn't fucking say shit to me.
Eu ya no confío en Maneto.
Come on, dude. It's a little too perfect if you're gonna use a
¿Cómo diría
sexist
eso
line
el
like "Don't be a girl about it."
bicho?
In the conversation about not being sexist and how your friend isn't having your back because you're not actually sexist.
Eu ya no confío, manito.
Crazy. The whole conversation, it's like an hour long. It's pretty tough to get through. Was Jason R calling Tarek an elf
Eu ya no
for not
confío en
having his
Magneto.
back no matter what. And Tarek going, I just thought what you were doing is weird and I don't support that because it's weird. And then Jason R would be like, you've met me, you've met my wife. I don't know. You can see that clip, watch the rest for yourself, and make your own
Oh,
judgment
qué
call.
terrible.
But I do think Nate Shot summed it up best. Let's listen to
His
him.
own thing. It's his own thing, but it doesn't involve.
Ay,
The point is that it doesn't involve me. That's
Perdón,
the
mi
angle. It
palanca,
doesn't involve me, and I
güey.
got involved, and now I'm benefiting off of his downfall, and that's the part of it that makes me feel bad about it.
If this motherfucker actually had a problem with you and you were friends, he would have sent you a message, say, hey, I got something to talk to you about. The guy, well, he said it in a game while you guys were on stream. He knew what he was doing. You shouldn't feel bad at all.
Peleas,
The internet's gonna pick a
peleas.
side no matter what. There's nothing that you should feel bad about. Fuck it, dude. I'd be looking at Rolex.
De lo que te va a sentirte malo por. Eso es bastante inglés.
If he actually like truly felt as if you had wronged him in some way, he should have came to you like a man.
That's fair.
Off the fucking internet and sent you a message, but he didn't.
Yep.
So you got no reason if somebody attacked.
I actually like to say he should have talked about it off the internet like a girl, like a strong woman would. That's what I say. I'm trying to actually heal the world. Anyway, this is all that happened. Again, none of this is necessarily new, but it really brought it to like mainstream attention when
Este
Tarek and
subreddit
Jason
es
R
malo
talked
para
about
los
it on stream in
streamers.
front of, like,
Live stream fail.
20,000 people. And I'm just gonna show you one clip real quick. This is from the Yard podcast. Check it out if you have a few extra hours of your life.
Es la mona
And I make this
china.
call. My QAnon theory is that he cheated on
Perdón,
her
hoy día ando modo
because
chill.
he made her wildly insecure. He was likely with someone he made
Creí que sonaba como el sonido del... Oh, ese que se va... ¿Qué sabes? Ese que se va a roncar.
And now, when I'm saying he's
Oh.
like this, I'm talking about, of course, Jason R's wife, who is
No puedo hacer la
also
voz.
complicit, by the way. This is not like Jason R and he is sexist and his wife is just like, oh my god, I can't believe this.
Ahí está.
Women are great.
No hay nada. Ahí arriba es el problema.
This is real logs of
Nice bomba.
in his chat, and it's talking to a Twitch staff member who's just watching the stream. I actually know this person. I don't know if they're named in here, so I don't want to name them if they're not in here. But they're like a super nice, really pleasant Twitch employee, and they wrote.
Yo
this,
puedo.
It's hard
Okay,
to
cool.
read, man. Girl, you're sad. She's a cum dumpster. I can't stand her. She's the only one that's actually insane. She gives me.
She's a
the other
cum
chicks a bad
dumpster.
name.
Oh.
Okay. Well, the other chicks got banned,
El
so it's
basurero
kind of hard for them
semi.
to have a bad name because they're not.
Mentira, sí sé qué quiere decir con eso.
Stream anymore, but yeah, fair enough.
Oh.
I feel
Así
sorry
le
for her
dices tu
boyfriend 'cause
senpai.
she's fucked everyone. Just saying like just vile, wrong, unnecessary shit. And then finally does, okay, I'm sorry, can you leave though? Within a minute, yeah, really powerful apology. So, look, it is not just Jason that is complicit in this, but he did send out an apology after the stream with Tarek because I imagine it all became a bit too much in fighting against being sexist.
Sexist. Oh.
Tenemos diferentes personalidades, ondas y estilos. Y Puma me dice
Claro, los comerciales están a todo full, po, pero mi maldito video no, po.
avanzamos a pasos firmes. Vamos.
Ah,
While being sexist,
es que si no escribo esos son los muslos de la polola y no funciona. Que no leí. Maldición, tengo frío y no tengo ningún suéter a mano. No, pues senpai se va a resfriar. Se le van a poner duros los pezones y la gente va a decir, oh, ¿qué te pasó? Y tú tienes que decir medio frío, po. Qué estúpido. Ok. Pobrecito, dice. Es que si no escribo eso en los muslos de la polola y no funciona. Voy a escribir que el cum dumpster, basurero de semen. Puedes acercarte un poco mío, ¿no veis que...? No me agrada cuando la gente se queda cuidando los huevos cuando están muriendo, ¿no? Solo acércate a la gente.
Who doesn't deserve this? There are people making false allegations of out of context information. I wish nothing but peace and love for people and just a touch of understanding. Okay, all right, just a touch of understanding. Now, this is my favorite part of this. Because in this apology, Jason very specifically says that
justo vino gente a mi puerta. No, lo que pasa es que yo digo no porque a veces uno no se puede acercar a las personas porque te moriste ahí, entonces probablemente hay un boss o algo. Y no es un algo, a veces lo veo.
Man, I would hate to disrespect my wife by playing games with women and having them in my chat. Jason R's.
No vi la bomba. No, no la oleada 2.
How is she catching you slipping like that, Jason?
¿Quién es mío?
Oh, come on.
No sé quién era mío en la arma.
Entire weekend, because you know, rightfully so. This guy is pretty openly.
Wait, qué mala, qué cosa dijo Franchizuko. Mala y minuto puntico. No sé, pues Franchizuko, ponle notificación.
The moment you see a girl walk by, and that's sexist.
Ni modo tocó incendiar el lugar donde estoy. ¡Guau! Bueno, le echa fuego al pobre suéter. Sí, el cum bucket. Cum bucket, po bucket. Es un bote. Un bote así de eso. Un bote, un balde. Y el otro es el dumpster, que es un contenedor de semen.
I tell chat to quit acting like some hoes because I really like that one Soulja Boy clip.
Como del norte, po.
He listens to loud music.
Terrible.
So I'm also complicit. But there are
me daba risa esto de... Puta, se me olvidó que había dicho.
Okay, you have built-in sexism that you perpetrate.
Ah, no, sí, lo que dije, que no me gusta cuando las personas se quedan como cuidando los huevitos en... Cuando se mueren, así como se quedan cuidando los huevos y como que dicen ayuda, ayuda, ayuda. Y uno se tiene que acercar a ellos y no se acercan por nada del mundo, así. Es como, oye mierda, estoy re lejos de ti, ven hacia nosotros. Abandona los huevos. A veces hay que hacer eso. No solamente alcanza para el balde. Bueno, cada uno verá. Al menos yo hago eso, que usualmente no me funciona quedarme cuidando los huevitos cuando estoy muerta en ese lugar. Porque muerto no sirvo. Ah, jefe pelado. Jefe pelado, así como sin +1 ni nada. Está chiquito, Gustav. El senpai que se ríe. No sé qué habré dicho, pero bueno.
líder en TEL.
Malditas sea comerciales.
En equipos y accesorios con despacho sin costo. Encuentra nuestras ofertas solo en entel.cl. Entel, contigo en todas.
En verdad hay pocas cosas gratis que te da la vida. Corazones rotos, patadas en la ingle, la risa de una pequeña niña. Pero
rayos, no puedo tratar comerciales. No, no League of Legends.
Si algún día
ya lo juego, no me lo ofrezcan.
Tus amigos, consigue nuevos amigos en una creciente.
No, se acabó. Se acabó el video. No me he dado cuenta. Todo mal, todo mal. A este punto vamos a poner solamente música porque se nota que no ando pescando los videos. Le hacen DMCA. Tengo unas ganas de poner la música del juego de Sonic del 2006, ¿será? Me voy. No debería estar aquí. Soy un sniper. Solo debería matar. Listo. Ahí. Excelente. Los bichos láser, güey. Los bichos láser. Mira cómo me siguen los dos. Oh no. Oh no. Los láseres. Sí. Toma una bomba. Gustav. Estaba en más jefe 2. En un día bajé jefe. Me cago en la puta. No, que no, pero no salen anuncios. No sé si tengo activada esa opción. Pero igual tampoco la dejo activada porque a veces me dan problemas. Y más que nada también, no sé, es para no quitarle los centavos, para darle los centavos que le ofrecen a los youtubers por mostrar comerciales en sus videos. No les quiero quitar sus centavos. Ni siquiera sé si lo tengo activado, honestamente. Ok. Ñaca, ñaca, ñaca. Por mientras... ¿Qué video podría ser? Simplemente los que tengo en la lista para ver más tarde podría ser, pero creo que son... La mayoría... En su mayoría son... ¿cómo se dice? En su mayoría creo que son los del doctor cerebro, doctor emociones, doctor psicólogo. Ok. Ok, alcancé. Listo, cool. Fer está atropellando todos los bichos que ve. Eso nomás. Así humilde apoyando a los youtubers para que coman. Claro. Dándole unos centavos para que compren el tenedor. Mira, yo vivo bien con el conocimiento de que cuando veo videos de BTS y veo los comerciales, le estoy dando unos centavos a la compañía para que le compren vasitos de plástico para beber agua a los webs que le hacen el maquillaje, les editan el video y toda la cosa. Porque nunca he comprado un álbum de BTS. Creo que nunca he comprado, nunca lo he financiado. No, deberíamos estar los dos acá arriba, la verdad. Nunca he financiado a los BTS así como, comprar el álbum o algo así. Verga, ahí quedamos. Listo. Ok. Oh, sí se pudo. ¡Sí se pudo! ¡Verga! Bye. ¡Ah! Casi muero desde el cielo, bro. Quítese, quítese. La bulla bomba es lo más poderoso. Hasta ahí nomás parece. No sé cómo esa Fer no se revivió. Como que explotaron 1000 cosas alrededor de ella que se supone que explotarían de nuestro color. Y además hacen como un poco de daño alrededor. Por favor, no se mueran. No se muera Gustav. Viene el Kokosuna. Escucha en mis ojos. Uy. Por mientras buscando un video.
How's it going, boys? Welcome back to Mogul Mail.
Está bien. Güey, no llores, senpai. No llore por mí. Llore porque pasó. Nada que ver. Oh no, el sniper haciendo esas cosas. ¿Te puede gustar?
And today, it's about live stream fail. Now, live stream fail is, if you don't know, a subreddit. It has 1.4 million members.
O sea, vámonos de aquí, si no nos va a atropellar en el borde.
There are larger subreddits, but even my YouTube channel has double the amount of people who have clicked the follow button at one point in the video. However, live stream fail is, at the end of the day, a huge cultural hub for Twitch streaming. A bit of YouTube streaming, but mostly Twitch streaming. And you might have used it yourself. A lot of people do. And I think probably 90 to 95% of people do. Just to catch up.
Oh, okay, cool.
You go to here, and you're like, oh, what happened today? And you click on this, and you're like, oh my god. Holy shit, Iron Mouse not only broke 1 million followers.
No puedo matar esos bichos de arriba de la torre. Bien.
But that's not what it really is about. It's not about fails, and it's not about great funny clips. It's mostly about news revolving around streamers. If you look at the top year of posts, the most upvoted things are news things. You know, Spanish comedian the face of Kekdom passed away. Twitch got leaked. The Dream promised to donate money, and he did not stream that month.
Mátalo.
Added a hot tub category. That was a big post. Almost none of these, except for the Happy Hog, which deservedly so, are clips of streams. And if you dig a little further, you notice that it's not really live stream fail. It's select dozen or so streamers who we enjoy.
El cojones de Ozuna, exacto.
Inventó los jabones antibacteriales. Mantiene la piel saludable y naturalmente protegida.
Para celebrar un peo.
For the most part, this is a bit outdated. This is about 8 months old, but these are the number of clips and followers by channel. And as you can see, the majority of clips are done for these 24 or so people. One of which I am. My name is right here. I think things are a little bit different now. I'm not posted nearly as much anymore.
A trabajar.
The move to YouTube, and a lot of people just
¿Qué decía?
for that, which
7500, ¿por qué?
But this is the breakdown, as you can
Ok,
see.
nunca sabré por qué. Ah, por el Kokosuna. Tal vez.
They're not the biggest streamers, you know. Clint is in here, although he streams once every few months. In
no hemos ganado. Perdido todas, excepto esa última.
But it's because live stream fail enjoys their content and posts them here. And this can be a good thing for creators. Like, a few people have had their channels grow. Even me probably have had some growth. I got to 10,000 viewers mostly from just posting YouTube videos and bringing people over. But when I did PogChamps, the chess event, a lot of the clips that from me just fucking around with people and talking shit in the chess world, which is kind of a rare thing, were posted on that website. People are like, oh, I'm interested.
Fui a tomar agua, le ganó el cojones de Ozuna. Sí, mira, senpai, ahí estamos. Mira, revivía 10 personas. Mi cabeza lo tapa, pero ahí está. Mi cabeza lo tapaba un poco, pero se veía un poquito el 10. Ahora floto cuando hablo.
I will get more views from them if they see it again. It's initial exposure that can be really helpful. And then from there, it falls off pretty fast and becomes kind of like a drama tabloid circle. And I know it has a lot of negative
Vengan, que está el largo.
By the way, is not to
La única vía de
advocate
escape.
at all for people to boycott it or to find a new live stream fail that actually has fails, but more so, I think, to talk to maybe even other streamers or creators. Because I think there is a huge overemphasis of the importance of discourse on live stream fail. And Toast got into this a little bit, but I've seen firsthand the emphasis that streamers put on this website. I'm not going to name who, you can probably guess, but multiple huge streamers.
Uy, eu confío en Maneto. Ojalá.
And pull out live stream fail like
Vergas, tengo mala puntería. Pero no con eso.
To see what juicy gossip is. In the same way that I imagine it's toxic if Orlando Bloom pulls out People magazine to see who they're accusing him of cheating on with. It's toxic to look at this this generally not useful discourse around random things, you know, and sometimes it's hard to avoid. Like, for example,
Tomen una bomba.
Cutie, she threw on and announced that she's doing an award show, the Streamer Award, and she's doing it with Maya. And a lot of people were pumped about it. And a lot of the streamers were too. They reached out to her. But the people on live stream fail, again, it's select few in the grand scheme of things, were pretty cynical about it, pretty rude about it. And for someone like me, I don't know, I have a weird fucked up brain where I read that shit and I go shmeep, and then I go play Super Auto Pets, eat a gummy, and watch anime. That's me. That's me. But that's not everybody. Most people are human.
Listo, cool. Eu confío, Manito. Oye, Senpai, tú no tienes el Splatoon 3, ¿o sí? También está muy ocupado también para jugar Splatoon 3. Güey. Le di en la cola y no ha muerto.
Switching to YouTube to recognize how small, tiny, and insignificant not just live stream fail is, but like even my community in the grand scheme of things. Here is the YouTube.
Honestamente creo que estoy bien si soy el Dynamo, tal vez.
Every channel that exists. And this right here, these are all the YouTubers you know. Like every single one of them. These are like the music people.
Porque me puedo defender sola.
These are
Si es que no me quedo sin tinta, claro.
People, and all these are different pockets of different language speakers. But this is it. Look how small this is. English-speaking YouTubers like Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, in comparison to everything else. And if you zoom in, I'm somewhere in this mess. Right here next to my dog, Patriarch stands in Charlotte. In this entire web, in this entire universe,
okay, cool.
I am this little dot. Can you keep your eyes on it? Can you keep track of it? That's me. And live stream fail is half the size of that community of people. Yet it has the weight of like PewDiePie circle times 10.
Vamos, Gustav, tú puedes.
Discourse. I don't know. I think part of the problem is that streamers don't have a place where they can see.
Necesitamos ayuda para meter más huevos.
Because I'll be honest, when I read the comments on my main YouTube channel, I don't really.
Ay, va a morir.
It's kind of an
metan huevos, hay hartos huevos.
Positive because they like the bedrock of content I made, which is why I really like Mogul Mail. Because Mogul Mail, I feel like I get into more random shit, more different topics, and more opinions about things. And sometimes I just ask straight up questions. Like I uploaded this video about NFT.
Creo que ni siquiera fue mi huevo el que cayó, no lo sé, no estoy segura. No, no lo tengo. Actualmente tengo tiempo, pero no paso jugando ni nada. Ah, pobrecito Senpai. A menos que estés haciendo otra cosa mejor. Tal vez dices, no, ya no me interesan los juegos. Me gusta ahora, no sé, bailar. Ay, no, con el que tenga el Dynamo, por favor. Vamos todos para acá. Podemos venir todos para acá.
I think it worked out.
Ay, cielos.
I think it all worked out. I'm not going to say that I'm the mastermind behind these two coming together and the beef being squashed, but I think it fucking worked out. And I think that was a
Tienes que tener cuidado con tu espalda, Gustav.
On a platform like Livestream.
El problema es que tenemos que ponernos de acuerdo en qué lado ir.
YouTube channel where it's an echo chamber of positivity about the Mr. YouTuber. So anyway, we talked a little more about it. Figured it was worth just throwing in a little video. and putting it up here. Anyway, hope you guys.
Por favor, es por aquí.
Check this out. If you guys haven't already subscribed, by the way, please do. I'd appreciate it. See you later. Enjoy the conversation. I think it's worthwhile.
Es por este lado que tenemos que juntarnos para que todos los bichos vengan de un solo lado. Oh, cielos. ¡Oh! Gracias, tiburón. O sea, reviví a alguien, pero... Creo que reviví a alguien yo, no estoy segura.
¿Existe una receta para ayudar
Gracias,
a
comerciales.
desde adentro? ¿Una sola? No, varias.
¡Ah!
Conozca alguna de ellas en nuestro canal de YouTube. Quaker, da el primer paso. Cambia
Vengan para acá para que todos vengan de un solo lado. ¡Ay, huevos!
90% spending less time on
Qué triste.
because as a streamer,
Vamos a ayudar para meter los huevos. ¿Qué quieres decir, senpai? Porque haces una quote. Es que el problema con esos bichos es que hay que ponerse de acuerdo para qué lado vienen. Yo digo que si uno tiene un roller, específicamente el Dynamo, es buena idea ponerse ahí donde estaba yo llamando. Porque ahí mismo van a venir todos los bichos de un solo lado, pero toda la gente se separó. H-Senpai, Huevo Senpai. Seguramente debe ser eso. Seguramente era Huevo Senpai. Nah, pero... Al menos eso siento yo en esa situación del mapa. Cuando uno tiene el roller Dynamo o el roller normal, es buena idea ponerse en ese lado del mapa. Porque así atropellas a los bichos y todos vienen del mismo lado.
LSF is fucking tiny.
Y pueden meter los huevos con tranquilidad. El problema es que aquí todos al final nos separamos y nadie al final fue para allá. Pero bueno. ¿Qué hora era? La 3. Ok, no pasa nada. No pasa nada. Es una feo más hermano. Me la descubrieron.
Kind of like that. I used to be like that.
Wait, ¿qué estamos viendo?
I feel like it just kept me like thinking a certain way.
¿Quién es este?
Like being nervous that like some people might not take things the right way, and I have to check LSF as like, oh god, is there a threat about me or what I said this week?
Dude, it's like I think the #1 post will get maybe 100,000 views on a clip, which if
TikTok's live streams are a joke.
Views, and that's all
Sí.
it got, you'd fucking cry.
La mayoría sí lo son.
So that's kind of what I thought about for a while. But anyway, I think the GOAT streamer is Ibai, and none of his shit is based around that.
Yeah. What's the Spanish?
Tamago Osama.
Pretty amazing. Like,
dude, they're so far
¿Qué
ahead.
están diciendo?
Yeah.
Tamagotchi.
Don't
Ah, mentira.
really talk about them in NA.
Tamagotchi de Osama Bin Laden. Lo pillé, pues, cabro.
What they're doing in the Spanish community, I'm very impressed. It feels like they actually want to improve the scene for all Spanish streamers, like a rising tide rates all shit. Whereas in NA, it's very much like, how do I get my content? It's an environment of comparisons. Like when you're the #1, you feel so good instead of just focusing on like the ecosystem
El ecosistema. ¡Oh! Se murió. Pick me. Pick me. ¿Cómo se dice eso?
Yeah.
Ah, ok.
Yeah, I think that's wait, is
Whoa.
that thing, by the way, when this stream will only end when I have less than 26 viewers. Is that real?
Perdón.
Yeah,
Lo moví.
goes up by 1 every 2 weeks.
Oh.
Estoy tapando todos los tiros del Ping Me.
Subathon, but like you, I don't feel comfortable taking too much money from my viewers and putting it directly in the box. And also,
Osama
I don't think
explota.
I can get away with doing
Procede a
that.
morir.
But like, if I had taken the money, I wish the opinion would have been like, oh, you know, that's because you're doing Subathon and these viewers that don't even get money with. It's not gonna be like, it's gonna be like this rich ass motherfucker is taking money from the viewers
Rebote.
and just
¡No se
leaking
mueran!
the stream or like
¡Corran!
reacting to videos. Like,
Dude, I saw people
Wait,
talking
¿dónde
shit
está
on
el-
Iron Mouse's subathon and like even listening to like 2 minutes of her
Octavo
story.
desapareció.
It's, like,
Se quedó ahí
probably
arriba.
one of the easiest people to get behind giving money to. And everyone who
Reboté
does it
completamente en
does
esa
so,
pared.
like,
¿Viste?
so
Por eso es buena
there's
idea
still
siempre
people
pintar
who
las
will be out
paredes. Los japoneses que juegan Salmon Run me enseñaron bien.
yeah.
Pero no aprendí su lección. Me enseñaron bien, pero no aprendí. Eso mismo dije.
Cutie, because Cutie is planning some award show.
Yeah.
And when I saw
Por aquí,
the
chavales.
comments in that thread, it just made me so sad for her because she just wanted to put on like a neat award show with Maya, like a little event. And the comments were like, yeah, no, it's been done before. She's a copycat. It's like, why are you trying to steal Nim's thunder? They go out of their way to look for reasons why this is bad content. Like saying like, oh, it's just going to be awarded to her friends, or like, this is such a circle jerk. Instead of just being like, oh, cool, someone's doing an event.
Es el peor lado estar ahí al lado del Uber.
GTA, that's not playing Valorant.
They're putting an effort into something and then like bringing everyone together.
Oh,
I think
no.
There's gonna be so many people meeting for the first time that'll be sick. But,
yeah, I think it'll do really well, but it was just so negative.
I mean,
that
oh
was the
God,
moment.
if Mizkip announces that with OTK,
Oh, no está persiguiendo el bicho.
who's negative towards certain people, and I tell her every day, I'm like, dude, it's way smaller than the amount of people who will end
Bro.
up this award show. It doesn't matter, but you know, she's human. She's reads
Esa partida no estaba muy buena.
So I think she really appreciated that message.
Procede a grafitear la pared de su vecino. Uy, ¿por qué?
If I didn't read LSF or like Twitter or social media, I probably would still be streaming Naruto and having a good time. But because I read all of that and because I let what other people are saying, like everyone and their opinion, flood my brain, I just started like second guessing everything.
Veo gente que murió 6 veces
because I was like
en una partida.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hold strong, dude. Your YouTube has been fucking dope
Está bien.
lately, and I think that's the thing you just go down and you stay confident in that. Because everything you've put out since you like came back to it, I think has been sick.
Yeah, I took a page out of your playbook for that one. I'm like,
Yeah, I think it's working, man.
Oh no, revivió 9 personas.
Godspeed, King. And then we get to rock climb together. Yeah.
Haciendo shaming de juego. No, la verdad no. En Ranked me va horrible, así que eso es todo lo que voy a decir. Es que me ande creyendo la superior. Solo digo, wow, esa persona murió muchas veces. ¿Qué más quieres? King Egg.
Llegan las cuentas al edificio.
Probablemente sí te aprendí esa cuestión de de no poner
I
comerciales.
made a video about the worst trend on TikTok.
Bloquear publicidad. Ok, no lo tenía aprendido.
To a trillion, which would take more than a lifetime to do. And that trend kind of died out. The original person who made those videos in live streams.
Oh. Vamos a ver cómo funciona. Porque a mí lo que me hace en el YouTube, lo gracioso es que a mí lo que me hace cuando le pongo eso de bloquear comerciales es que me aparecen los comerciales, pero me aparecen en blanco, sin sonido ni nada. Entonces como que aparecen igual me interrumpen, pero un video en blanco. Pero ahí veremos. Lo voy a volver a aprender después. Porque como dije, gracias a la publicidad en parte igual podemos tener cosas entre comillas gratis. Aunque sea una lata.
They always do when they give you a live stream, and I don't want to watch no shitty live stream, but I did. Because it said, saying Mr. Beast 100,000.
Ah, qué mal lado.
Before. It's actually popularized by
Permiso.
Mr. Beast. He did it with Logan Paul back in 2017, where he said Logan Paul 100,000 times.
Recording? Yep. All right. Hopefully, all right. Well, Logan Paul.
And that's the whole video. It's as promised, as delivered. It's not a live stream. It's a recorded video, so you can literally go through it all to make sure. But to get to the end, it doesn't really sound like he's saying Logan Paul, but he's saying words and counting. I don't know. Maybe he was a fan back in 2017. Who knows? And Mr. Beast followed this exact thing up with saying PewDiePie 100,000 times a year later.
In this video, I will say PewDiePie 100,000 times to stop T-Series.
Remember that? Good times. PewDiePie versus T-Series. And that's it. And that was a trend in those videos.
Gustavo, te ignoraron completamente. Qué gracioso.
That's a lot of views. More views than anything I've ever posted. But the thing about doing something this psychotic, something that takes, like a dozen hours to do at least,
Solo diré que estoy sacando los pasos prohibidos con la Splatana. Bueno, Gustav, no estamos jugando Splatana, así que me estás mintiendo, ¿no? Se pone a jugar Ranked con Splatana. Voy a pintar aquí como vía de escape. A los japoneses me enseñaron a pintar la pared, como he dicho, como se me acuerdo, No sé por qué lo dije así, perdón. Oh, Jason F038. Jason, gracias por el follow. Ya, L. ¿Por qué L? Ya voy. Ok, bye. Se fue el bicho. Ay, no puedo.
Right? The final 12 hours, he's barely saying Logan Paul, but he was still saying it. This guy is gasping.
No sé si debería estar haciendo otra cosa más. Al menos estoy matando estos bichos que se ponen en las sillas. Bueno, voy a matar esto. Ya no. Oh no, eso me pasa por... voy por acá.
In that 20-minute time frame, he says Mr. Beast 120 times. Now we can do a bit of math. We can do a bit of fun math here. If you take
No, Thomas.
the classic
Okay, whatever.
20 minutes, multiply it by 60 seconds in every minute, and then you did a 120.
Vamos a alcanzar.
Excuse me, Mr. Beasts. It takes 10 seconds per saying of Mr. Beast. If you were to then
Tal vez debería haber hecho más en vez de matar solo esos bichos.
Total seconds, or 16,000 minutes, or
el Fox Squad se cayó 3 veces cuando lo reviví. Sí, él estaba en nuestra partida anterior, el que dije que revivió 0 y murió 6. Pobrecita.
Way longer than it took Mr. Beast. Did
Hola.
not take him 277
Hola,
hours,
Jason.
otherwise known as 11 days.
Hola.
And part of the
Soy
reason
Jason
is because
Simpson.
it wasn't this drawn out. And the reason it's so drawn out,
Probablemente nos puede tocar de nuevo porque le dimos inmediatamente a seguir y puede que nos aparezca de nuevo Fox.
He starts at like
Buenas.
9,900.
Senpai siempre tan cortés.
99,800. like just a couple hundred away. And then he goes live for 30 minutes. But when you're scrolling through TikTok, there's no VOD. There's no access to everything that happened before the moment that you happen to be watching live. So if you were here, you want to spam, I was here, I saw this thing happen live, see the culmination of it all. You don't have to deal with the build-up, the tension, the reason why it's gratifying for this guy to reach the 100,000th saying of Mr. Beast is because you watched the first 99,999.
Los streams en TikTok son bastante interesantes, la verdad.
Skip all of that, skip the boring shit.
Que no se me...
Then it's kind of hype just to see the ending. And this guy figured that out. And so he starts.
Que siempre me aparecen porquerías. A mí, usualmente los únicos livestreams que en TikTok que me tomo en serio son los de SMR. Porque al menos ahí están haciendo algo. En cambio, a veces hay algunos donde la gente está como... Oh no, chicos, no me donen 1,000 pesos para terminar el stream. No, era una cuestión así, no sé. Era como... Qué sé yo, no se me ocurre, pero es como, oh chicos, no, por favor, no me donen para seguir. Oh no, me han donado $100 para seguir. No. Pararé el stream cuando hagan cosas así, como cuestiones así. Uy.
Almost there. Just 2 more, big guy. You're a hero.
Está muriendo ahí.
All right. Don't need it. You got it.
Doctor Dos Bras. Vamos, Doctor Dos Bras, no se deje.
He takes off the cap and his water bottle, throws it back on. But then occasionally he'll like make his hands shake.
Está sufriendo el pobre.
I don't know. I haven't seen somebody worthy of an EGOT in a long time, but give this man the Emmy.
No puedo matar bicho acá porque tengo que estar mucho rato ahí.
The likes of which Shakespeare would just ride that.
Oh no, ya mejor me voy de aquí, mala idea. Voy a matar los bichos grandes, ¿no?
Pattinson was like a pathetic child actor compared to the bravado of this man. This is art.
Tomen una bomba.
Stay champ,
Doctor
baby.
Dos Bras.
Stay champ, baby. One left. Let's go.
Dos sostenes.
Let's go. By the way, there are 99,000 people watching this live. 99,000. Right?
Debería haber usado mi... No tengo tinta. Debería haber usado mi bulla, tal vez. Perdón. Debería haber usado mi bulla y... Eso. Es que a veces no la uso hasta como en la última ola, porque digo, por favor, yo confío en ustedes, chicos. Y después, cuando estoy ahí en la pantalla de derrota, digo, todavía no.
Dude, look at the viewer count. Just for some context, the largest live stream right now on Twitch is 117,000. This is good enough for the second largest live stream.
Dos Bras, no tienes tinta, carga tu tinta.
On the website, on any website.
Listo. Cool. Vámonos de aquí.
China has a speed.
Mala idea.
He continues on
Sé que puedo pegarle en la munición esa, pero...
I'll show this. He does. Yeah, he goes under the desk. I don't know. There was earthquake or something. I don't know. Protection.
Oh, me caí. No. Oiga, señor Dos Bras, usted debe cargar su tinta.
This seems like a genius idea to get a free 5-digit, maybe even 6-digit viewer count. Has he done this before?
Oh, mala idea hacer esto.
Not only has he done it before, he does it about every single day.
Allá voy, chicos. Ok, ok.
He's even put it on the same fake strained voice in his recording of the announcement.
Por favor, chicos. Hay huevos. Confío de nuevo, hermano. Una vez me metí a uno y era un señor de 50 años sin camisa bailando. En el TikTok. Hola, soy Homero peruano. Soy como Homero, pero vendía Maggie por una paloma. Solo una.
However, the one I watched didn't have what you see in the background here, which is what I think is the shady stuff. The rocket equals reset, gold mine minus 100, Ferris wheel spin the wheel. Basically taking money to influence the saying of something 100,000 times when it's not genuine, right? When it's totally fraud and you haven't actually done the work.
Bueno, al menos está ganando la plata, está bien, solamente me da risa. Igual es la gente la que le dona, la que lo motiva a hacer esas cosas. Solo es increíble. Bueno, voy por algo de comer y ya regreso. Está bien, senpai. Coma rico. Lo esperaremos.
Here's the thing about saying something 100,000 times. Even if you do it genuinely, like if you really do it, and you can have money goals to reset some of the sayings, but it's real, right? Like it is a real, actual saying of something 100,000 times. It's fucking weird content. It's crazy. It's crazy content.
Creo que la persona que tenga el dynamo debería acercarse al borde, tal vez. Estamos los tres en... Pobre Gustav, probablemente el Gustav era el dynamo y ahora lo presioné. Perdón. Sí lo era. Es que más que nada porque el dynamo puede defenderse a sí mismo de los bichos grandes.
And 100 sets the counter back 250 sayings.
Okay, voy a ir a agarrar un par de huevos.
It's a pretty successful YouTuber, by the way.
Okay. Yo me hago caso, yo me hago cargo de esto.
I do not condone the support of parasocial relationships. This is condoning it, by the way. This is crazy. It's just crazy. He did this for 7 hours straight and said my name 35,000 times, which there's no need for that. There's no need for that, Budster. I feel bad shouting this out because I'm worried that it might drive other people to do this. And so let me make this a blanket statement. Please do not say my name 100,000 times.
No tocaron las mismas personas.
Just do something else in that time. There are many things that you could do with 18 hours of dedicated work. You could beat 1/10 of Elden Ring. Maybe get all the way to Margit. Who knows? Just not this. You know, pick up a hobby. Go outside, toss the
El
picks.
hobby es agarrar plata.
Huh? You know, Budster.
Ojalá me pagaran por ser weón. Sería millonario. Necesitas tener un live stream para eso.
The most genuine way possible. Not like, oh,
No sé.
that's crazy. Like, you're crazy. You're a crazy person.
Ok. Vengan para acá. Yo tengo el coso.
All right. Anyway, good luck to Budster and nobody else try that, please. And TikTok, you keep on scamming. You do best. Everybody, thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye. See you later, guys. Make sure not to go harass anyone. I think the kid on TikTok is mostly just trying to become famous. And this is an industry that I have caused, and it's my fault for inspiring the youth to want to be content creators rather than real practical jobs that help the world, like doctors. My bad.
No se preocupe, yo no voy a tener tiempo completo de streamer. Solo es mi cosita de hobby y medio tiempo. Técnicamente medio tiempo si gano plata, pero si no la gano solamente es un hobby. O mi dibujo. Oh, me quedé sin tinta. Chicos, ayuda. Chicos, gracias. Me voy a quedar sin tinta de nuevo, chicos. ¡Ah! Chicos, la tinta. Me quedé sin tinta, bro. Era como, chicos, la tinta. Me paro a cargar la tinta y todo se destruye. Dentro de mí. Gusta como... Mira, 1700 puntos por todos los bichos que maté en esa. Pero me quedé cargando tinta y ahí uf. Se fue todo dentro de mí. Voy a ver... ¿Qué otro videito tengo acá? Oh, ya hicieron partida. Todo se derrumbó dentro de mí. Esto. Y acá. ¡Genial!
The four simple words that have been whispered by the intrepid since the time of the Romans. Fortune favors the brave.
¡Cripto! Ese era el comercial, ese era el título. Gustav. Oh, no vi eso. Ups.
Crash was, and also do a little bit of introspection on myself in my involvement in cryptocurrency. So again, you can see a lot of red all the way through, but the main poster child of the crash is a coin called pets.com of this bubble, because it went down real hard. Now this is about a few months ago, March 11th, it was about $90.
Dentro tuyo, no. ¿Me puedo unir? Sí puedes unirte, Jason. Solamente asegúrate de agregarme. Y para agregarme tienes que poner exclamación FC en el chat. Y ahí vas a ver mi código de amigo. Exclamación FC. Dentro de mí. Ahí cuando vea la solicitud de amistad voy a ir parar coso para agregar a Jason, que se une a nuestro grupito.
About how it's been difficult to obsess so much with money and how he's had to divorce money from his ideas of success, which was a good read, but also
Nos sigue tocando el dos bras. ¡Oh! Eso fue culpa mía. Ahí está. Te agregaré cuando terminemos esta, Jason. Y ahí te unes al grupo. Genial. Ok. Dentro de mí. Oh, por allá.
Send Luna Coin anymore. And if you don't know, Luna Coin was supposed to be a stable coin, meaning it was going to be like stable, you know, like an actual currency. It didn't really work out like that. It fell off a little bit harder, you know, loving subathon levels of hard. And here is the creator of the coin himself, whose ad is funnily enough, at Stable One, who had a really harrowing thread about how difficult the last few days has been on him.
Oh, allá se fueron los juegos.
You know, all the major players that you want to call when something bad happens. But is it really like that? Dokwan, just so you guys know, is still a really, really rich man. And this is a clip of him just last week.
Me pica la nariz. ¡Apu! ¡Apu! Esta rotación de armas está genial. ¿Ah, sí? ¿Te gustan las armas que hay, Jason? Siento que la única que no está tan fuerte es las Dapples, la arma roja con la que puedes rodar. Más que nada porque en Salmon Run, no sé, necesitas hacer un poquito más de daño, yo encuentro. Y esa arma tiene movilidad, pero no tanto daño. La Junior, no sé. Bueno, no sé. Todo sirve si es que le pones ganas. Así que está bien.
Another failed stable coin. So 2 failed stable coins in 2020. So interesting enough. But Dokwan is really gung ho.
Pero Brass, ¿por qué te alejas? ¿No ves que no tengo tinta?
Screenshot for you guys.
Está empujando con la menor cantidad de tinta que tenía.
Luna, Dokwan, and said, who wants to make a $1 million bet that Luna will be a lower price 1 year? Now this was March 13th, and the price was announced around $90. Someone saw that.
Problemas cripto, que yo no entiendo, porque apenas entiendo la economía. O sea, entiendo lo suficiente.
Replies and says, I'll match, I'm down. They figure out all the details, they're down, they put it in the same wallet. This is real money, all right? CoffeeZilla, track this. This is literally in the wallet. There are $20 million. It won't get paid out until March 14, 2023. But at that moment, if the coin is above like $90, then Dokwan wins. And if it's below $90, then GCR wins. Again, then the price is around 0.0000.
No, Gusta, no te mueras.
Right now, GCR is looking good, but to make sure that he wins the bet, GCR made a bit of a baller. He hedged. He bought as much coin as he would need to cover in case the coin goes back to $90.
Muy bien, muy bien.
120,000 shares.
Nice.
How much did it cost? 76. Oh, my bad. 76. And that's look, that's one great example of the crash that crypto just went through. And there's crashes all across the board. It's been happening in the stock market, and you know, it's inflation, it's war-based, it's because everything's been a bubble and no one's actually profitable. H-Rock made a really good video about this. I'll link in the description as well. I think he talks a little more deeply about that aspect.
No entiendo si la gente que usa cripto de verdad obtiene la plata que tanto prometen que van a tener. Es como, oh, tengo 200 millones de dólares en cripto. Oh no, estamos en la emergencia. Regresé. Hola, senpai. Es como vender Avon. ¿Avon? ¿Avon? Avon, literal tienes que cagarte a otro para ganar plata. Ah, es un, ¿cómo se dice? Un engaño capital, ¿cómo se le dice? Oh, perdón. Ok.
I just like the plot. I'm a huge fan of it. But that brings it all back to me. Because here's the thing. I've been
Oh, no puedo matar a este bicho.
All right, I've done Coinbase ad reads for money. I've done Coinbase ad reads on the yard.
Puta, no puedo matar a ese bicho. Todo el rato, todo algo me tapa.
I thought Coinbase was like a safer way to
por favor. Ahí está.
I think of all the coins that exist, it'll be whittled down to just kind of like any new space that emerges.
No.
I've only ever bought a couple coins, promoted a couple of coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Ayuda.
I feel comfortable sharing this because I don't want to be happen behind the scenes, have a bunch of coins like a Popzilla video. I have 77.
Oh cielos, oh cielos.
Down 13K lifetime.
No, no. Me acabo de salvar. Vengan, decía. Y decía, ¿para dónde me voy? Ok, vamos a salir de esta, Gustav, para que entre otra personita. Me van a cagar, mano. Sí, bro. Uno gana la tercera bola, pero después pierde con el cojozuna y siente como si hubiera tenido una derrota.
But that's why I prefer crypto. It's easier to trade stuff around. If I'm buying like a Pokemon box or sending Mizkif some money because we did some bets together or whatever it is. But is it wrong of me? Is it wrong of me to still promote it?
Salir.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm curious. All right. Should I cut off all ties? Am I sending you guys astray? Have people bought crypto because of me and then lost shit tons of money? Or is it the same thing as telling you guys to invest and you guys are investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum and it goes down and it'll go up again?
Voy a abrir mi gachapón. Está bien, vaya, Gustav. Hoy ya son las 9, ¿es cierto?
Show that is my most popular YouTube video. Doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So I'd rather hash that out here and figure out what the right thing is. And let me know if I'm dumb.
Clásico Splatoon 3 aún. Anda teniendo errores más en Salmon Rank que en cualquier cosa. Aunque en Turbo igual me da problemas.
But I feel comfortable doing an ad read for it because I don't see it any different than doing an ad read for Robinhood. Depending how crazy and dumb the trader is.
Por favor, puedes dejarlo en traducido en español y me apaga los subtítulos a cada rato, bro. Ni siquiera es para mí, así que por eso me olvido.
If you don't know Radstads, edits all the TikToks and YouTube shorts and actually is the person credited with making my most popular video ever. It's not Shake, it's not Polite, it's not something I edited. It was him.
Vamos a ver el gachapón y después vamos a hacer la partida. Agua frita.
And he tweeted out like a few months ago at esports, which if you don't know is just a company.
No me gusta ese fondo.
It's kind of like what a venture capitalist
bueno, pero aunque tengo
if they had no fucking clue what esports was, but wanted to make money from it. Anyway, probably a business hemorrhaging money. He tweeted, yo, at esports, is there any reason you as a verified brand account are shamelessly ripping off all the content on your TikTok from other accounts creators? Like literally just downloading and reposting TikToks with the watermark removed and improper tags.
¿De qué voy a volver a ponerme este nombre estúpido?
Proof of it at the moment.
¿Dónde está?
It's the esports account.
No me gusta ese fondo.
And it is specifically TikToks edited.
¿Por qué acaso lo tienes tú?
I want to clarify. I don't like people using my clips. I feel like it's fine.
Asustar a los niños.
Whatever, it happens. I watch clips too.
Qué estúpido. Me encanta el nombre. El título más estúpido de Salmon que usar en un juego de niños.
My most viewed videos, top 10 salty eyes glamour moments. I get it.
Miren mi locker, ¿les gusta? Mírenlo.
Spinning it as your own.
O sea, por dentro, está bien.
You did zero work, you just downloaded, and then you know you're doing something wrong when you
get rid of the watermark. Le quitan los más populares que es más bonito. ¡Ey, me copió!
They did that for a few
Pero a él le salió más bacán.
that Radstads knows and Radstads
bueno,
himself.
Vamos al donoso. No, vamos a ver la ropa.
This stayed happening for like a couple weeks.
Deja de grumear. No puedo parar, bro. Tengo que peinarme de alguna forma.
So like, okay.
Se peina.
They know they're doing it. They get called out for doing it. They keep doing it. Fair enough. Things, like all things in life, kind of go away for a bit. World keeps spinning. Life moves on. Well,
eso no.
Radstads tries
Que
to
podría.
once again bring up that this is happening.
Le sale 10.000.
And what the response is from the
Está bueno.
esports team is
Está bueno el grumeo. Qué horror.
he gets blocked by Christian Bishop, who's a
Esto me da
Twitch
lo mismo.
employee
A menos que haya
who
un
works for
sticker
the
muy
@
bueno.
esports company. He gets
Pero
blocked
no lo
by
veo.
the @ esports account. And then he also starts asking for a TikTok creator so he can stop stealing shit. This is like all what I would call
Listo.
genuine concerns in
Vamos a
conversation.
hacer sala.
Proper crediting is great, but I think it'd be leagues better to avoid reposting fully edited content made for by other creators without direct permission.
El anterior título que tenía nomás me lo puse porque estaba bien largo.
Someone else's paid work at no cost. Makes sense. How is a block the
Estaba
correct
largo y me
response?
daba risa que fuera largo.
Now, I don't know how this was found, but Radstads follows up just like 30 minutes ago with... This made me so mad. I'm going to get fucking mad reading it again. The head of digital at this company, at esports.
Ah, ups. No, lo puedo comprar, de hecho.
People who work at the company said this. Hold on. Do we delete the TikToks? Because now, in like, I don't want to get fired or anything. I thought this was safe
O
to
no,
do.
lo guardaré para los
employee
otros,
who's
tal
reposting
vez.
the things
No, no
is
sé,
not
no
so
sé.
sure.
No
This
sé.
is November 4th. This is when
De
Radstads
todas formas lo
originally
compraré
had
todo
the
en algún
concern.
momento. Y por ahora me gusta el rosado,
I'm
así
chatting
que
with
eso.
Christian Bishop, the guy at Twitch.
Voy a buscar Vivía.
Okay, the tag is right and everything for Ludwig's talk. I think he's mad it went viral without them getting money out of it. I assume. Is it Ludwig's manager?
Bueno,
They
si,
reply, I'm pretty sure it's because he's mad.
si llega primero el
Yeah,
amigo
Sash, let me know
Jason
what to do when
antes
y'all
que
are done
Gustav,
talking. I
empezamos una
can talk.
partida.
Okay. Look, I'm never going to get mad at an employee looking for a manager for
Llegó al tiro.
correct
Ok,
guidance, 'cause
Jason.
that's a manager's job.
Démosle por
That's head
mientras
of
que
digital's
Gustav
job. But
se
they
fue
reply, you
a
are good, don't
tragar
delete.
bebida.
We're going to make an overlay so you can tag in the video as well.
¿Eres
Let
de
him
algún
go, he's
team,
a
Jason?
fucking
Que veo que
nobody.
te llamas GM. Así como Good Morning.
How do you talk to people like that unironically? How do you actually just whittle down someone
Team profesional de
to irrelevant
Splatoon.
or relevant?
Sí.
These are the same people who like buddy in the
Sí,
DMs
soy.
with me like, hey, can you please do this?
¿Conoces
oh my God.
entonces a
It sucks me
Misael?
off because I have followers. It's so fucking
El
cringe.
título Huevos y videos.
You can't just
Videos de
treat
huevo.
people as
No.
people, as humans.
No, no estamos viendo videos de
The
Salmon
nobody
Run.
is the guy whose work you are using.
Videos
He's
de
not a
huevos.
nobody if his work is good enough for you to use it in your own TikTok verified page.
También te pregunto si conoces al Misael porque él es mi amigo que juega pro, por decirlo
You
así.
guys are stealing his work.
Pero ese es de
Crazy
Chile.
that
Así que no sé.
like
No sé,
high level
no sé
people
si
too,
te
right? Like,
pesca
this is
Chile.
head of digital
Chile.
at esports. This is Christian Bishop, an employee at
No, nos dio un error.
We're
Eso ya es
signing
culpa
off
del
on
juego,
these
no fui yo.
decisions. And I've heard people say this before, and I've said this before.
Ok,
as
haré
well.
otra partida. Pum, pum,
But I'm
pum.
just fucking sad.
Pum.
Because I love Twitch. And at the end of the day, a company are the employees that make it up. And it feels like more and more the employees who are getting on board aren't there because they're ingrained in the culture and know how to keep that special thing alive.
Qué horrible.
But they're there
Splatoon.
just for a nice little resume bump to go to another Fortune 500 company. Insane from Christian Bishop, insane from Kendricks, insane from at esports, and
Voy a
insane that
agarrar las
Radstads has
dualis.
been dealing with this. Because it's his work. He should just, you know, have his own work be his work. Anyway, that's about all. Esports, eat shit and die.
Mira
and,
esto.
and hearts
Esto no.
as
Esto.
always.
No.
And it.
Esto.
Look, the change won't come.
Entra.
By the way, I need to say this: the change won't come from you guys going down to their level. It is 100% okay to voice concerns for things that people do that are bad.
Salmon Rooney.
But the worst thing you could ever do is go down to someone else's level and start just like name calling and talking shit, not based off of the actions they do, but like who they are. So I think anyone is in the right to say, hey, you guys are being fucking dumb for the decisions you have made as a company and talk super disrespectfully internally and aren't handling this well. But I want to make sure that nobody from me is going around talking shit or doing like terrible things that other creators communities have done in the past and been flamed for. Just
¿Qué quiere decir eso?
say that. But anyway, yeah.
El sonido que estaba haciendo.
In fucking saying that happened.
Puta, no me salió.
And that's all. All right, see you later.
Qué estúpido. No, los comerciales igual vienen. No me está protegiendo Opera, pu. Ey, este es un video del psicólogo. Por favor, subtítulos, por favor. Rápido, carguen. Ahora ya. Y con español. Ahí está.
So I'm slowly believing the black pill stuff. How do I not do that? Black pill adherents believe that looks are genetically determined and that women choose sexual partners based solely on physical features, lookism. So whether or not a person will be an incel is predetermined. There's this YouTuber called Wheat Waffles that's just talking about this stuff, about how looks matter the most, and it feels like it makes sense to me, and he's not the only YouTuber. It's just making me down and a little resentful of living and kind of sad. How attractive guys get more of a free pass, and how ugly and average guys are seen as creepy. It's a lot to digest really. I have also seen videos of Tinder experiments with average and attractive guys which just prove the point further. Also how women, even ugly ones, only want to date the top 10% chads of guys. My current source of interacting, if you can call it that, with women is Tinder, which isn't really getting me any matches. I'm a shut-in failure at life. I don't even want relationships on Tinder, just friendships, and that is still asking for too much. But I'm not sure. Maybe I just want to cuddle with a female and hold hands, but that's relationship stuff. I don't want sex because of asexuality. I'm kind of looking for some counter evidence because I don't like thinking as a black pill. But if that is reality, then what am I supposed to do? Maybe something.
Eso no es realidad, porque los chicos con los que he tenido onda no son lindos, la verdad. Solamente me he picado completamente en la personalidad. Lo digo como alguien que le cuesta a veces ver la belleza masculina. Verga. ¡Ah! ¡Ah! Jason, te dimos mala impresión. Perdona, Jason. No pude ayudarte. ¿Me perdonas? O soy muy mala para esto. A ver qué está pasando aquí. Cállate, Julio, dame un beso. F. Perdón, Jason. Andaba matando mucho. Mira, 395 puntos. Ups. Se besan. ¿Volviste, Gustav? Salir. Para que se pueda unir Gustav. Venga, Gustav. ¿Te vas a unir a los Overwatch más tarde? Ah, no lo he instalado. No lo he instalado. Tal vez no. Depende. Probablemente no, entonces tómalo como que no. Tómalo como que no por mientras. ¿Ok, Doshu? ¿A quién dijo? Junker. Junker Queen.
You'll see this in political discussion, like, you know, discussion places. You'll see it on 4chan. If you have a discussion about the quality of League of Legends on a Dota forum, there'll be a very uniform, how do I believe that League of Legends is not worse than Dota? I hang out on a Dota.
Estaba muy buena esta partida, bro. Me quedé con pena con los... No, esta no, es la otra. Esta. Me quedé con pena porque todos teníamos arriba de 30 huevitos y hay 1000 de daño.
The first is that none of this is actual evidence. These are YouTube videos. YouTube videos are not evidence. They're just YouTube videos. So
Perdón,
if you
Doshu.
want simple evidence that this statement is not true, I want you to just go to a park where there are people who have kids, or go to a grocery store and look at how attractive are the parents. Because if women are only willing to date the top 10% of guys, what you should find is every mother has a father who's like in the top 10% of guys.
Sí, yo no estaba esperando eso todo este tiempo. Gracias por dar tu aviso de que estás aquí. ¿Cómo estás, Sirion?
That's all you need to do is just go outside and look at who has kids.
Se tira otro.
So what you'll discover when you do that is that this statement is
Sí, junté muchos puntos. Mira esto. Tercer peo, así.
Experiments are like scientific studies that are controlled and have variables and blinding and randomization. That's a study. That's how you get data. We've also looked at a study recently on
Es que yo quiero pular a mi vieja. Gustav, ¿qué estás diciendo? Güey, ¿qué acabas de decir? Yo me quiero curar a las mamás de unos amigos. Eso no tiene nada que ver con lo que está hablando el tipo, eso sí. O sea, lo único que tiene que ver es con los padres.
But it's not all this stuff that people think it is. And the question is, why do people think this stuff? People think this stuff because of things like YouTubers.
Los incels nomás tienen inseguridad por tener mala experiencia, ya sea con chicas o chicos o algo con su apariencia. La mayoría de ellos se ve bastante normal, esa es la cosa. Lo único que los hace dar miedo, por decirlo así, son las ideas que tienen.
And so then what you're going to have is this community where everyone is saying the same thing and forming an echo chamber. So this is not really evidence.
Tome, una bomba.
I've also seen videos of Tinder experiments. What were the controls for their Tinder experiments? What was their sample size? What was, you know, and then the other thing is that you're making a big assumption that success on Tinder correlates with success in relationships.
¿Por qué te vas, Iván?
Tinder is toxic and is terrible. Tinder is not necessarily about relationships, I think. I mean, I don't really know. But like Tinder is not, it's just one slice. Like, I also want you to like look at people who are in relationships and how many of them met at Tinder, on Tinder. For thousands of years, people have been forming relationships without Tinder.
Un hombre de costumbres. Tinder es para losers. Y así Tinder es para la gente que probablemente quiere una cita rápida, ¿sabes? Porque lo único que puedes juzgar es qué tan mal escriben en su biografía y su cara. Aunque nunca he usado Tinder. No sé, nunca me ha dado las ganas ni en broma, así como... Que fome. Que fome, si ando aburrida, mejor voy a ver otra cosa, voy a ver un video.
So let's understand the process of emotional processing, okay? Because this is something that is underexplained. So everyone talks about
que tenga el Dynamo puede venir a atropellar los bichos, atropellarlos, por favor.
What we don't actually talk about is like if you have
Iván, atropella. Mantén apretado el botón. Iván.
The first thing to understand.
Iván, Super México. Con el Dynamo puedes one-shotear todos esos bichos. Mantén presionado el botón. Lo estoy diciendo como si estuviera en la llamada. En una llamada o algo. Y no lo está.
And this leads to a negative emotion. And then what happens is I go to a community.
No tengo tinta.
So like, I start to believe these things. I start to black pill. And so I'm going to engage in the black pill community. And I feel hurt.
Toma, Jason, unos huevos.
So I go to the black pill community, and here on the internet, we see this in our community as well. So there's a lot of people who will validate my emotional experience. And so what happens is the negative emotion gets validated and vented out into the community. Participation in the community, if you read black pill posts over and over and over and over.
Follar es para pobres. Sir, tú aprendiste bien. Aprendiendo del foro coches que vimos. Pero esa cuestión se me va a quedar pegada en la mente por un buen rato. Voy a decir, Alf, eres todo un loquillo.
And actually receiving negative emotions.
Okay.
And if you look at mental health communities on the internet, what we tend to find is that everyone there is talking about acceptance and validation, but no one knows how to process. So essentially what it becomes is like, it's like a room full of people who are farting. And it's like, I'm gonna fart, and it's gonna get distributed throughout the room. So
I'm gonna
it's not
fart.
Like stuck within me. But then everyone else, it's like, you know, people who struggle with farting convention is what the internet becomes.
Ese ejemplo nos salió muy bien, Doctor Emociones.
And it's like, oh yeah, man, that's tough too. And then like
Doctor Cerebro.
And then like eventually, like we're just in this room,
Mi stick no quiere trabajar y venir hacia adelante, bro. Se queda pegado de repente.
Right, because no one is teaching it. Like all I know is how to like fart it out of my butt. I don't know.
Qué molesto.
So they don't teach us the rest. You don't get that? So it's like, it's kind of bizarre because even the community that are trying to help, hey, we all struggle with this problem of like acid gas. So like other people don't understand this, but like you understand this. You're my fart bro, right? Or you're my fart girl.
Maldita sea. Tiene la media cabeza ese bicho, bro. Estoy volando y igual me agarra. Ayuda.
There's like the people out there who don't struggle with passing gas, and then there's us, and
then
we all get together, and then like, you know, like, then we're like, it kind of helps because we understand each other, but then we also like get their negativity too. And we even have posts in our community like, I just can't.
Por poquito, conche tu madre.
So how do you do this? Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the steps of emotional processing.
Iván, conche tu madre, ¿por qué no usaste tu bulla?
So when I have these negative emotions,
no, mentira, probablemente lo usó y se murió, no sé. ¡Metí el último!
Right, which, by the way,
Te lo recordaré por el resto de tu vida. Gracias, Sirius.
It's like if I subscribe to a bunch of flat earther YouTube channels, it doesn't mean that the earth is flat. I will think that there's a bunch of evidence that the earth is flat, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the earth is flat.
Tiene razón, señor Emociones.
I can subscribe to a bunch of YouTube channels about reincarnation, and I can start to believe that
no llores, en paz y ganamos. No hay razón para llorar.
Science and experiments and evidence. And then there's people
a menos que algo le emocione.
Those are not the same thing.
Bro, fui la que menos metió huevos.
Okay. Doesn't mean that there isn't
solamente andaba pegando.
There can be value to YouTube.
Bailando por ahí.
We're on YouTube. But just because something is on YouTube doesn't make it true. Shocking.
Tanto amarillo.
So then the question is, and I really appreciate this
es que no tienes huevos.
Like,
tienes razón.
This, right? How do I break
Tengo un clítoris.
That's exactly the kind of courage and insight you need.
Yo creo que la versión femenina, por decirlo así, de los huevos es el labia, ¿no? Porque el labia es como lo que puede variar de tamaño así bastante. Ya saben. No, olviden lo que dije. Pero es cierto, solamente que olviden lo que dije porque no tengo nada más que agregar al respecto. El clítoris es el equivalente al pito. Gustav, por favor, no te pongas a responder lo que dije. Se murió por qué responder. Oh, qué gracioso. El pito es el clítoris. El labia es los testículos. Gracias por venir a mi TED Talk. No vengan nunca más.
Or even watching YouTube. Right, so evidence that this stuff suppresses our amygdala, limbic system. There's all this negativity in
Traigan huevos.
And in order to function, what do I need to do? I need to pack it in.
Ah, verga. Fallé.
As I pack in more and more negative emotion, something interesting starts to happen. Keeping it buried requires more effort. So the more full
Bro, tenemos muy pocos huevos.
Emotion, the more energy it takes to suppress it.
No se va a poder.
This in turn decreases our motivation and available energy.
Era necesario responder. Está bien. ¿Mayora o minora? La mayora, po. Nos referimos a la mayora. La minora es eso de adentro. Adentro, lo que está adentro.
And so like then we start to see something really interesting.
O la mayora.
Go to these communities that
está bien. Iván. Oh, Iván.
Difficulty actually doing stuff. Like no one's going out there and saying like, okay, just talk to more people. Like if Tinder isn't working for you, like go do this stuff.
Esperaremos un momento para que Iván desaparezca. Bueno, me voy para el LOL. Sir Jun. No, se tiene otro peo. Cuidado. ¿Quién sabe? Puede que sí.
The other problem with this is that the more full this is with negative emotion, the more we have to go into distraction. And interestingly enough,
eso no es un peo para el RAM. Sir Jun. Che. Está bien, Sir Jun. Muchas gracias por... ¿cómo se llama esta weá? Unirte al jardín de las flores. Las flores maricas. Eso es con cariño, ¿ah? Está bien. ¡Vivan los maricas! Sí, señor. No me quedan peos. No te preocupes, Sir Jun. Yo te regalo uno.
create an eruption of negativity. And then that becomes a self-fulfilling cycle too.
¿Qué está viendo? Hola, Gumup o Gamap. Estamos viendo un video que dice no te tragues la píldora negra, que habla de la gente así que está como a punto de tener los pensamientos incels. Ya, el doctor aquí está diciendo no los tengan. Y está explicando así como formas para motivarte a que no tengas ese pensamiento. Eso. Kuma está cumeando. Ah, está bien. Dice, está cumeando como si no fueras tú el que tiene el nombre. Pero está bien. Muchas gracias. Estamos esperando. Perdón, yo me pongo a ver videos mientras estoy en las partidas, no sé, para hacer muchas cosas al mismo tiempo. Una hora explayándose el compa cuando es tan fácil como decir no se saco weas. Bueno, a veces es difícil para unos, me imagino. O sea, yo no me relaciono con lo incel porque mi problema era que yo no era de querer pareja y yo no era de pensar que era inferior a los demás por no tener pareja. Pero igual algunos cabros igual le hacen. Yo digo nomás que a veces la gente le da mucho énfasis a la idea de tener pareja y de que eres mejor persona por tener pareja. Y no es cierto. Eso es falso. No es cierto. Hay más en la vida que solamente tener pareja y tener relaciones sexuales. ¿Hay más de eso? No es difícil ser saco wea. Yo solamente estoy tratando de empatizar. Porque sería muy triste, igual me daría más tristeza pensar que no tienen solución así, o algo así. Sean libres cabros, culen en el parque pero con gorrito, porque sin gorrito no hay fiesta. ¿Qué está diciendo? El chat no me deja ir para arriba. Una cosa será buena y el otro. No sé qué es culiar, yo veo Twitch. En sí. Yo veo Twitch, no sé culiar. Esos consejos no me los daba. Güey, ¿a quién? ¿Qué? ¿Quién no te daba consejos de qué, Doshu? ¿De usar gorrito? Oh. Gracias por el follow. Kumis. Come up. Se dijo, hablan de sexo, me quedo aquí. No, mentira. Pero sí, hablamos de sexo a veces. Aceptamos lo horny en este mapa porque la única gente que no sabe de mi historia horny son los que no me siguen en otros lados afuera de Twitch. Oh. Porque a veces la gente me dice, ¿así? Dibuja poto. Y yo digo, sí, dibujo poto. No sé por qué estoy hablando de eso. Siempre termino hablando de, oh, mis dibujos. Este chat es 98% horny y 92% extra horny. Sí, pero no son horny por mí, esa es la cosa. Bueno, debatible ahora que lo pienso. Que tenemos al Gustavo acá, pues. Vamos. Oh, se fue Jason. ¡Ah! Choppy, ¿quién es Choppy? ¿Está Choppy? Oh, no lo tiré. Bueno. ¿Qué? Pero si no soy horny por ti. Está bien. Entonces diré que me equivoqué. Está horny por la mona china. Lleguemos a un acuerdo en que el chat entra en modo sexo con Gustavo acá. El Gustavo nomás entra en modo sexo, ¿no? Los demás entran en modo jiji, pene, jiji. Al menos yo estoy ahí.
The rage just builds up. And then what we do is it comes boiling up, and then we suppress it again, but it's there next time. So what you tend to find is that people can get triggered by the same stuff over and over and over again, right? Like, so it's like, if you don't process, you're going to continue getting triggered.
Oh, casi me mueve este bicho.
In our coaching program, we teach our coaches about how to find the origin of the Samskar. So Samskar is like bottled up emotional energy. This is stuff that's thousands of years old. We do this stuff in therapy as well, but this is just a fundamental of how the mind works. So Samskar is a concept from like ancient yogic psychology about this basic idea that anytime we experience emotions, whatever we don't process gets stored.
Ay, no pude pegarle ninguna cola por no levantar el maldito coso. Perdón.
Ask someone out on a date and you're very, very, very anxious about that. What you'll recognize is some of that anxiety is coming from that experience, but some of that anxiety is left over from the last time you asked someone, or tried to ask someone. And some of that is coming from the time before that and the time before that. And it was you had a crush on someone in the 7th grade, and they ended up
vámonos.
And so like some of that leftover emotion projects onto this relationship.
Soy el cumiado. Sí, perdón, quedaste como cumiado, señor Gumap. Pensé que su nombre de verdad era Kumap. Bueno, dijo que era Kumap. O sea, yo le dije Gum, así como goma. Y me dijo Kum.
Okay, so explore the origin of the emotion.
Qué guay, hermano, pero si no estoy horny, soy horny. No lo está. Es.
That you're not just angry with this person, this is anger that's left over from the past person. And as you do that, as you become aware of the origin of the emotion, you'll start to treat this person differently. And then what you'll do less of is sabotage this future relationship. Okay? Next thing that you've got to do, this is really important, is as you gain awareness of the emotion, this emotion is going to push your behavior.
Siento que a veces no es buena idea volverse a buscar huevos, sino que simplemente ir a buscar voces que estén más cerca. Porque nunca se termina de llenar de bichos. Uy.
So I'll give you guys a simple example. So there's all kinds of like stuff. You guys the nice guys subreddit, right? Someone like doesn't respond to my text. And say, hey, I'm a nice guy.
Casi.
They don't respond for a day, and then I start calling them all kinds of nasty things. Nice girls exist too. It's not just not a general. So what happens is in that moment,
those frames.
The nice guy. They give in to that emotion and they start cussing out the person that they're talking to, which in turn ruins the relationship. It's not even a relationship eventually. And then that in turn is going to cause another samskar.
No, no alcancé.
Emotional bucket, even more.
Confirmo. Puedes tirarlos igual para que otros los pongan. Es cierto, pero en eso gasto tinta y me quedo esperando como a que se me vuelva a cargar la tinta para tirarlos. Aparte, igual estamos como en un nivel alto donde los bichos no dejan de aparecer. Entonces, más que nada por eso, porque después se empieza a llenar de voces. Bueno, al menos perdimos en la tercera ola, así que no se pierde nada, técnicamente. El senpai llorando por mí. ¿Hemos ganado alguna? Sí. Esa no, esa estáis viendo cuál ganamos con Jason. Hemos ganado una. Los demás lo hicimos bajar. Le hicimos bajar 2 veces, quedar en el mismo lugar y ganar una. Jamás voy a olvidar cómo te tilteaste Doshi en la era de las peras. Lo dices como si ahora no lo hiciera. Aún lo hace, perdóname.
And one of the key things about trauma, so trauma is like a negative emotional experience, right?
Vamos.
The interesting thing is that when you process trauma properly, people feel stronger than when they started. And so a good example of this is the idea of a cancer survivor.
Oh.
Getting cancer sucks. When you first get cancer, you start to think all these negative things. Why me? Life is terrible. I hate God. I no longer believe in God. I started believing in God.
Igual se demora bastante ahí.
There's so much stuff I want to do. It's filled with
No,
all these negative
Shopee.
emotions. And some people wallow in that and they
Pero Shopee, po. Te alejaste de mí completamente.
integrate that into themselves.
No tenía
What they
tinta.
can actually do is, okay, if I've got 5 years left, I'm going to make the most of it. So when experiences affect us, if we're not careful, they
Odio que haya igual delay con los huevos.
through the process of reinterpreting that and reintegrating like that experience into our identity in a healthy way. And so this sort of involves cognitive reframing.
Oh, okay.
And this is where the identity of someone like a cancer survivor arrives, right? So I use that as an example because it's a good example of like something that happens.
Okay, Gustavo se mata.
Where people will say, like,
Procedo a morir.
If I survived cancer, I could definitely handle this. And
Oh, no
suddenly that person,
alcancé.
like, even though cancer is definitely not a good thing, that person actually
¿Eso?
looks to the future like more resilient and with like more hope and capability than if they had never had cancer in the first place. In this step, we definitely don't.
Ey.
How does this happen?
Perdón.
This happens as a consequence of emotional
Okay.
work and self-reflection and like talking about who you are and stuff like
Yo
that.
bajeo igual, es culpa de las armas. Sí, igual no son lo mejor, la verdad. Yo encuentro. El Dynamo está bueno, el Sniper, decente, Junior, decente. Este que tengo ahora, no lo sé, bro.
But then you start to think about yourself differently.
Es que no hace tanto
So
daño.
instead of thinking about yourself as a black pillar, a doomer, you start to think about yourself as I'm someone who has struggled in relationships. And as you start to alter your behaviors and you stop
Dejé la pasta
sabotaging
del
your
wow.
relationships, you are going to
¿Y qué
form
tal?
relationships. And as you form relationships, you're going to start to change the way that you think about yourself. And then instead of someone who is doomed to never have a relationship, right, which is sometimes what we see here, right, like how attractive guys, blah blah blah, like and then like I'm a shut-in failure at life. Like this has got to change. And as you start altering your behavior and as you start engaging in things in life, you'll start to realize, basically, I see a lot of myself in this person.
Oh, gracias, bicho estúpido. Está en mi cara.
Started to get into the pickup artist scene myself. I had a friend who was super into it. And I was like, oh, I need to like, and then the pickup artist involved in the red pill and involved in the black pill and themselves. And so I started blaming
¿Qué tantos bichos alrededor mío? Esto no es necesario.
I started to make alterations in my life. I reconceptualized it. And now, like, the biggest reconception is I understand this person to some extent. Therefore, I'm grateful for those experiences because my hope is that I can help them. I'm an incel survivor. Incels.
Incel survivor.
Because then I discovered, oh, actually, like, all of those thoughts and feelings are
Hablando,
like,
señor psicólogo, ¿usted era un ex incel? ¿O estaba leyendo a alguien, parece?
and they're not necessarily true, and there's a way to get out. So if you
Chicos,
wanna
por
learn
favor,
how to,
de
like,
verdad que
get
no es la
out of the
apariencia.
cycle,
Se
what
lo
you've gotta
juro.
do is process your emotions.
Lo digo por experiencia.
The thing is, thus far,
La mía propia y la de otros.
how to validate me. But hasn't
Yo que veo K-pop idols toda la vida.
these like collections of people who share
No ando
the same
buscando
vent their
K-pop idols para tener como novios.
absorbed by everyone
O sea,
else.
es un plus si tienen la bonita cara, pero hey,
Community absorbs that negative
no se
energy,
trata de
they
eso la
turn
vida.
vent it themselves. And then we're in a room full of people who struggle with passing gas and fart too much. And then that
Nice.
actually weighs us down. And we get confused because we were told that talking about it is supposed to help. And I did talk about it. Why isn't it helping? And then the very community that is supposed to support us actually makes us feel worse.
Oh, nice.
And that's because we're missing some key steps in emotional processing. The first is to be aware of the emotion. The second is to understand
Creí que se iba a ir más para el lado.
and recognize this cycle of every time I have a negative emotion, do I suppress it through something like video games? Do I give into it by lashing out to people? You have to recognize, okay,
Chicos, atrévanse a pensar
I'm feeling hurt and
en lo que
rejected.
sienten. Chicos, está bien sentir. Chicos. Se siente viejo al principio, pero puta, al final es la mejor pasta. ¿Hablan del WoW? No lo sé, he estado hasta ahí. El Doshu me hizo probarlo. Hasta ahí estoy.
Once you become aware of the emotion and once you recognize, oh, like some of this
bicho.
coming from all of my previous rejections.
Pinten.
The wild thing is they weren't even explicit
Pintando las paredes. Hablaba del Final 14. Tipo, ¿se siente viejo el Final? No creo. No. O sea, depende. Me arrepiento de jugar WoW a ese nivel. Del WoW me arrepiento. Del Final, no. Del FF.
Will like help them reinterpret their prior experiences. Instead of interpreting it through an emotional lens, they start to really interpret it through a logical lens. The problem is that everyone who is controlled by their emotions thinks they're thinking logically. Whereas the truth of the matter is they're not thinking logically.
¿Hay algún bicho por acá? Oh, ok. Aquí vienen.
That's why it oftentimes requires help of an external person. To help.
Porque quiero llegar al bicho. Al bicho largo. Gustav, no creo que... Ok. No iba a decir nada, Me equivoqué.
As you alter your behavior and stop sabotaging attempts at connecting with other human beings, you'll start to form relationships. As you start to form relationships, you can start to reintegrate your past experiences into yourself in a healthy way. And that's how you untake the black. You gotta process those emotions. The other thing to consider is that spending time in that community. So how do I get rid of the smell of farts? How do I stop smelling farts?
Okay,
Getting
cool.
out of the room helps a lot.
Me dejaron al Uber encima, bro. Sáquenme de aquí, me voy a quedar atascada para siempre. No. Ahí ya. No, puta que soy mala, weón. Justo me tiraron la bomba. ¡Ayuda!
Okay.
Me tiraron la bomba y me caí del pasillo. Así que no me llegó la explosión. Estábamos cerca, bro. Estaba para hacerlo. Güey, ¿qué cosas me tinca tanto? El F14.
And hopefully,
probablemente.
You know, our coaches are sort of have some amount of skill in managing this. Where I'm actually thinking about putting together a specific emotional processing curriculum for group. But it's like something that happens a lot, where it can feel really oppressive, and then it's the coach's job to help you work through that stuff.
Okay, cool. Perdón, me quedé un poco pegada.
Challenge your viewpoint. Start to think a little bit about like how to view your situation. But sometimes it can get dark.
Bueno, GG's. Ok. Está bien, Jason. Perdona por no darte tantas victorias. Pero gracias por venir. Estaba entretenido.
So someone actually recently sent me a
Oh,
list
okay.
of concerns that people have about group coaching. So I just wanted to
Cuídese,
talk about
Jason.
this for a minute.
Mandela.
So here are some reasons that people
No era
don't
Jason
believe
Mandela,
in
¿cierto?
group coaching.
Nelson Mandela.
The first is I'm not going to get personalized advice, therefore it won't be
Lo
helpful.
instala.
And other people are going to give me advice that doesn't
Buena
work.
suerte. Buena suerte con tu sueño,
The
Jason.
reason that group coaching is so hard to
Sueño
explain
mimir.
is because there's no advice.
No sé hasta cuándo seguiré porque igual tengo clases mañana temprano.
People came in and they were like,
No tan temprano, de hecho en la tarde, pero al principio de la tarde, así que eso.
I thought I was going to be with other
Así que no tengo idea cuánto me quedaré. Voy a volver a... Chau, Jason. Hola, pues Furanchizuko.
I'm not getting any tips. So my first question to you is when people give you advice, how effective is it in changing?
Igual le paro a la explotada a mi reina. No. Bueno, ya, entonces voy a eliminar el grupo. Wait,
People
hablando
come
de
here
eso,
looking for answers. The internet is full of
alguien me
answers.
mandó otra
And have we solved motivation in the
otra
human
cosa, ¿no?
race?
Ay, tiene un salmonito.
So people come
Alguien más me mandó
expecting an
solicitud de
answer. That's what's so
amistad.
confusing about it, is we don't give you one.
¿Quién
'Cause it's our
sos?
belief that giving answers doesn't actually help people.
No, me dice
What
origen de la
helps people is
solicitud. Ah,
understanding why
Isoleri.
you can't take
La
the
Isoleri
advice.
del... que estábamos
So
jugando
group
en
coaching
Salmón.
is about understanding
No sé por qué,
yourself.
pero bueno.
Now this is where people say, but like,
Igual
understanding
debo
myself,
mariconear
like,
en el Final 14.
if the
¿Quién
goal is
sus?
understanding me,
¿Quién sus qué?
shouldn't I do personal
¿Quién sus?
coaching? Why should I do group coaching? I'm gonna
Sassy.
make this
Sassy
very simple.
vaca.
So if you're watching this and you're a part of our community,
También conozco
have
al
you talked to
Gustavo.
Dr. K?
Que le pongo estrellita a
Have
quienes
you
conozco.
benefited
Creo que
from
Mitsuya es
anything
el
that
amigo
we've ever done?
japonés. Sí.
But how is it
No
possible
tengo
for
tanto
you to
amigos
benefit
japoneses y este es como...
if you've
lo
never
veo
talked to
ahí,
Dr. K?
No.
Very simple.
Ay.
This is where the AoE healing concept comes in.
Ah, sí, debe ser.
So here's Dr. K.
También conozco a
Here is the
Lucas.
person that we interview.
Y eso. No verán a quién más le daré.
Has a problem.
¿Cuántas horas aprox para level
Talk to this
70?
person. Does this person benefit?
Sasenasello.
Yeah.
Eso. Sasenasello.
And here's all of y'all.
Depende de si camelleas la wea o te lees la historia de Pony.
Do you benefit?
Pony cariño.
Yes. Why? You're not the
No hay
one who's interacting.
estrellitas.
So this is really important to understand. When you see your problem in someone else, it becomes a lot clearer. Holy crap, I'm doing it. Because you're not
No me gustan estos. El único fondo que me gusta es este, igual me voy a tardar. Aunque lo más probable es que las conchitas doradas no las uso para nada ahora. Este es el único que te pide hartas. Pero no me interesa por ahora.
Do y'all get that?
Así que probablemente este vaya a agarrar. Porque es rosadito.
Think about this for a second. When I finish interviewing someone on stream and I ask them, what have you learned today?
¿A qué fecha?
They're like, I have
¿Cuándo
no
cambia?
clue. But if I ask,
A la 1 de mañana.
what have you learned?
Cambia mañana a la 1 este.
Y'all
Ah.
have clear answers.
Esas armas no sé. No sé. No estoy muy segura sobre las
You're
armas,
not
la
caught
verdad.
up with all the crap
Pero
that they
bueno.
were going through.
Oh.
Do y'all
Yo
get
creo que un
that?
aerógrafo en la
It's like
próxima,
there's
la
like each
subsiguiente.
and every one of you will take away something from each of these streams. And it's because of this concept. When you work one-on-one with
Aerógrafo,
someone,
aunque
the
esa
subjectivity and
umbrella,
experience of
undercover.
emotion makes it hard for them to learn lessons.
¡Puah!
This is why group can be
Andan los pololos Toshu y Gustav. Ahí.
Because
Está bien.
it actually engages.
Ah,
what a lot of
no
people
sé si
think is that
debería ir a
personal coaching is
jugar
closer to what
turf.
we do on stream. I actually think, ironically, group coaching is closer to what we do on stream. Because in terms of your perspective.
¿Estáis celosa? Yo, celosa.
Something out of watching streams and out of watching videos. Why is that? It's because you're the observer out here and you're learning over
Ah,
here.
ya. Vamos a jugar un par.
It's kind of a bizarre concept that not many
Tentador.
people get.
Nah, no.
Okay, next thing.
Ay, 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 voy a jugar, pero
I will not have enough time to share my problems, and time will be split among the group. That's a fair point. So if you need one-on-one time,
perhaps.
personal coaching is better. No question. But I think that the whole point of group coaching is that your problems and someone else's
O el
problems are
Eliter.
actually the same friggin' problem. Once again, if everyone
El
needed
Eliter.
individual help, this would not be a thing. AoE healing would not be a thing. The whole
vamos a ver si me sacan de la fila 30 veces. O me
is
dejarán.
that we share the same problems. And if we come
Tipo así que
together
bájate
and
el
work on
watch.
them, like we can actually
Ahora,
solve them
a mitad del stream.
What I
Voy
saw,
a
the reason I-
ir a
literally
besar
the
al
reason I
Gustavo al
started streaming
FF14.
this whole thing
Probar el
is
FF14.
because it occurred to me that working one-on-one in my office was
Sí,
not
sí, sí. Se pone a instalarlo.
and that there's a certain
Creo que tengo que
scalability
vaciar
to
cosas de
this
mi
that is
PC antes de instalar el
and that
el-
same
el- el-
spirit
el
is
eso.
embedded into our group coaching program.
Voy a ir a besar al Gustav al
Here's the next one. I
FF14,
will be
probar el
required to solve other
FF14.
people's problems, and I can't solve my own problems. How will I help others? Really, really valid concern. I can't even help myself. How the hell am I supposed to help someone else?
¿Cómo ayudaré a alguien más?
Let me ask you something. Is it easier to cook for yourself when you're sick or cook for someone else, one of your friends, when you're sick? What actually brings out who can you work harder for? Can you work harder for yourself or work harder for a friend? So here's the wild thing. It actually goes the other way. Helping others can sometimes be the first step.
Pues se quedan bastante atrás los amigos, son de esos que pintan primero la base y después se acercan.
That like we're gonna come together and support each other and try to help each other stay sober. And like that actually is how you figure it out. When you talk to your friend, let's say I'm in a community of people who are black pillars, and I offer words of hope and encouragement to a friend, like to one of my peers in group. That's where I learn how to say those things. And it's easier to see respect
Adiós,
in other people
amigos.
and give respect in other people. How do you change that self-dialogue in your head? You start by changing the way that you talk to other people. Because it's easier to talk to them. It's easier to look at someone else in group and say, even though you screwed up, you still have value as a human being. It's just a setback. Really hard to say that to yourself. So how do you learn how to say it to yourself? You actually learn the words by saying it to someone else. Then what happens in this group is you see the intrinsic value in all 7 people in the group, but you still don't see it in yourself. And then they see it in you, and you're still confused. And then one day, hopefully your facilitator or someone else in the group is like, hey, what do y'all think about that? Who here thinks that they're the least helpful person in the group?
Podrían matar las platanas de ahí.
And that's when it clicks. Holy crap, how is that possible? Like, what's going on? The problem with personal coaching or therapy is if your therapist is like, you have value, what do you say in response? What does your mind say? Your mind is like, you're paid to say that. So there's interesting study. The respect, so if you poll programmers, okay, developers, whose respect matters to you the most? It's not your boss, it's your peers. The respect of peers is the most impactful thing for your sense of value. And we know this, we've discovered this. This is what all the research from the United Nations, World Health Organization, US Surgeon General about peer support is all about. It's like if one of y'all talks to Dr. K, and Dr. K is like, you're a beautiful human being, you have intrinsic value.
Nice.
F you, you're Dr. K, of course you're gonna say that. You say that to everyone. It doesn't even mean anything coming from you. Y'all get that?
Oh, así.
When it comes from your peers, it means something. It's like if I'm playing a game,
No lo había visto, pero está bien. Ya saben, cabros, la clave es no ser saco wea y ser payaso para que se le olvide que eres feo. Camillo reculeado sí se bajó el free trial. Era como, maldito hijo de puta, sí lo hizo. Número 1 en consumo de tinta, que quiere decir que usé bastante tinta. Recarga bastante.
Once had someone tell me after a game of Dota 2. I wonder if I can even find the screenshot. I don't know where screenshots go. I'll try to find it. I used up all of my good teammate luck for the year in this match. Best piece of feedback I've ever gotten in a Dota game. All of my like good teammate luck is gone because I queued with you. The respect of your peers matters so much more. I'll try to find the quote.
¿Quién eres? ¿Estabas en mi partida antes?
Okay.
No, apareció nomás, se unió. Parece que es mi amigo, pero no sé de dónde es, eso sí.
If that were true, once again, this would not be a thing. The whole point is that we feel isolated. And when we give into that feeling, no one else will be able to understand what I do, and we don't ever engage in a group, we never give ourselves the chance to disprove that belief. And we go
ando con super duper puntería.
I am alone, I am alone. The value in group comes from
el PB es 1000 veces mejor que el de
coming into group believing you're alone and leaving realizing that you're not. How does one realize that you're not alone in this world? It has to come from a group.
What?
It has to come from your peers. Even if you have one-on-one sessions with Dr. K, you think one-on-one time with me is going to make you feel less alone? Like Dr. K is the one person in the world that understands me. That's because it's Dr. K. But the rest of the humans out there, there's no way they could understand me.
Me anda sacando de partidas por 14ª vez.
I'm alone in this world. It's got to be through some kind of group interaction.
Qué triste.
When you share your problems, that's why like AoE healing is a thing. Because like every person who comes
¿Dónde está ese tal Aura Knight? Aquí está. Pobrecito.
You know what? We struggle with this too.
¿Hará una partida o esperará que yo me una? ¡Oh! Mi amigo japonés está jugando salame, pero no me invita. Porque no nos tenemos en ningún otro lado. Nos tenemos en Twitter nomás. Pero ni hablamos por ahí. Solo nos damos like mutuamente ahora. Es un amigo japonés que hice en Splatoon 1. Y nos mandábamos dibujos por envíos. La cosa más tierna del mundo.
And looking like an idiot and sounding like an idiot has real consequences.
Splatoon 3 todo el rato, error de conexión. Sí, bro, aún no lo arreglan. Sí, está horrible. Está horrible en Salmon Run y en Territorial específicamente. Que Ranked igual pasa, pero al menos no es tan terrible. Al menos eso encontré yo. En Ranked está un poquito mejor.
To being shy and speaking up in the real world. If only there were a place where you could practice overcoming that emotion of shyness.
Somos 3. Somos 2 liters, digo.
That did not affect your relationships, did not affect who you play games with, did not affect your income. If there was only a sandbox, a practice mode for overcoming, understanding those feelings, that would be cool.
Lo dejé un poquito débil nomás.
So here's you, here's the real.
Tan fuerte los japos.
It's specifically a place where you're gonna feel shy. And this is one of my favorite things in group. So when we have a shy person in group, what do? I ask them, what helps you speak? Does it help if people ask you questions? Does it help if other people wear the burden of communication? Or carry the burden of communication with you? Yeah, it helps, but then it makes me feel bad. So it's like, okay, who's gonna step in and ask this person questions to bring him into the group? One person is like, I'm gonna step in. Cool. So then they start asking me questions. And then the shy person is speaking because if someone talks to them, they'll talk back. I mean, they'll respond. But then the person feels guilty.
And
so we're like, okay, so now you feel guilty because the group is pulling you in. How can we deal with that feeling of guilt? What can you do to make things right? I don't know, maybe I can ask other people questions. Fantastic. Is there someone else in the group who feels shy? Great. Can you ask them a question and bring them in?
El Inrush desaparece completamente.
I want to do my part in group. Ask them a question. Have a conversation. And then suddenly, the shy person is engaging someone else. Right? Then you feel guilty for feeling guilty, which is exactly why helping other people in the group is so crucial.
No vi nada con el logo.
The best antidote to feeling guilty for being helped by another human being is to actually help another human being. Because then you can say to yourself, yeah, did I need help? Absolutely. But I also gave it. I gave something back. And then you start living in the world not as an independent person who no longer needs help. Because that's what keeps us stuck. I don't want anyone else's help. I don't need anyone else's help. I need to be independent. You start to change the way that you look in the world. And suddenly the world is about needing help, receiving help, and giving help. That's how this works. We're all going to help each other. So it's interesting because the very things that cause people to be afraid to sign up for group is exactly what group is designed to fix. But it's absolutely true. I'm not saying that talking in group is going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But where else are you going to learn how to do it? Where else can you show up and like screw up and be welcome next week? That's why we have group.
El Pokémon. Sheesh. Y yo aquí, que tengo el Digimon y no lo he terminado. Lo dejé a la mitad, pero me gusta harto.
This also we've addressed. This is the idea of AoE healing. The concept that you can learn from someone else's problems. And also that you can help.
Persona 5 por el culo te la hinco. Wow, qué rápido. Pokémon no se ve muy bueno. El cyber slot. Sí, pero es con TH y una E metida entre medio.
When this happens
El
in group,
perras.
and when group becomes essentially venting session after venting session after venting session.
Volvió
without
ahora.
processing,
¿Dónde está?
Without challenging, without, you know, learning and growing, then group actually becomes more toxic than it's worth.
Por favor, que no nos saque de la partida solamente porque se metió, porque a mí me saca como después de cada partida. No por el internet, conste.
But sometimes the group becomes so oppressive and the facilitator actually lacks
Desapareció. Ojalá sea porque encontramos partida y no porque se está desconectando.
It's a valid concern.
Cybertot. Tengo el Cyber Slot. No, el Survive no.
Is that is not the majority of group experience. And I'd say that probably happens less than 5 to 10% of the time. We've had very few groups like, literally fall apart because of how oppressive the atmosphere is.
Decía yo, no está. Nos van a desconectar. Pero creo que sí. Creo que sí nos va a desconectar. Porque el hecho de que le siga viendo. Porque si la sigo viendo harto después de que nos desconectamos. Mal ahí. ¿De qué? Pum, voy a ser valiente y nomás voy a hacer un grupo.
If you want to learn about yourself, group is right for you. If you want to see your problems existing in other people,
te invito a mi fiesta de cumpleaños.
Learn what they did to overcome their problems. If you
no sé quién se va a unir.
With your problem,
pero bueno, no me importa. No ando modo tryhard, solo ando modo sniper.
We're actually still developing something like that, but if you're looking to learn from someone else, sign up for a class. Don't sign up for group coaching.
And take the black pill. Oh no. Se va a poner mi ASMR.
Do you know the #1 thing girls want in a guy? No, it's not confidence. It's not charm. It's not game. It's not making her laugh. And it's not about being 6 feet tall or having money or abs either. Sure, those things.
Ok, me aburrió. No, mi ASMR. Esperen. Listo. Acabo no lo termino de ver.
It's 2019. Hololive and Nidhi Sanji are beginning their reign over the VTuber scene in Japan. Sakura Miko, Inugami Korone, Kiryu Coco, and many others from Hololive were so damn popular that even fans in the West began to take notice of this VTubing phenomenon. At this time, there were English-speaking VTubers in existence, like Ironmouse, Zentreya, Melody, Silverveil, and many others. But this was before VShojo and other Western indies' large explosions. But hold on that. We'll get back to that later. For now, let's go back to Hololive, and a specific member of Gen 4 who was the star.
No puedo irme sola. No me deja irme sola el juego. Okay.
I think Hololive owes Coco so fucking much, right? Because she is basically the sole reason why Hololive is as big internationally. She's basically the reason why Hololive English exists, right?
Exactly.
And
Coco was extremely important when talking about the creation of HoloEN, because the story of Hololive EN actually begins before Hololive.
¿Te puedo agregar? Ah, sí puedes. Gum up si quieres.
Coco was the most popular VTuber in the West before the creation of HoloEN. And the reason why Coco in particular was the one who was so popular was because Coco, out of all of the Hololive members at the time, was the only member who could speak English and had any understanding of Western culture and memes at all.
Menos sé más o menos la distancia que tiene.
Fans in the West so well. People could actually interact with her in a way that they couldn't with any other member of Hololive. And this is why Western fans fell in love with Coco. Coco, of course, noticed this and took full advantage of this new fan base in which she acquired, and started speaking English quite frequently in her streams. Of course, she's a Japanese native and a Japanese streamer, so that was always her main language, especially at the time with her job in Hololive. But the English-speaking Coco that Western fans loved would come out from time to time.
So, are you like planning to kill yourself or something?
Cover Corporation obviously saw this newfound fan base Coco established. Cover knew there was opportunity to be had here, and Coco herself pushed this idea to Cover Corp to create an English-speaking group of VTubers. Coco most likely being very confident in success if Cover Corp actually decided to pull the trigger and do it. But this was a risky move to enter.
Te agregaré si es que me saca de la siguiente partida. ¿O quieres unirte al Tour War o solamente me quieres agregar porque sí, Gum Up? Vas a ver.
But does that exactly mean a whole
Vas a ver si me salgo nomás y te acepto. Si es que quieres venir ahora.
Maybe Coco was perceived in the West so well just because, you know, she's Coco and everybody loves her. Who's to say this EN VTuber group would actually be successful? Of course, now we know how incredibly successful they were and still are today, but at the time, how could they know that outcome? So, Cover Corp had to make a decision.
Dos
make
lásers.
a ballsy move that might be successful, or stay in Japan where they've already found incredible success. With the help of Coco, Cover Corporation possibly made a decision that not only changed Hololive, not only changed the VTuber industry, but an executive decision that could have changed the entire internet forever. On September 8th, 2020, Hololive Myth was announced, Hololive's first English-speaking group. Incredible hype was created upon this announcement almost immediately, but even with this initial hype, they could have never anticipated the amount of success that was about to step forward after their debut on the 12th. Our beloved members of Myth that we all know today being Gargura, Mori Calliope, Takanashi Kiara, Nino May Ina, and Amelia Watson. These 5 individuals are so outrageously talented in all different areas, with many of these individuals being very popular on the internet even before their Hololive personas were created. Cover Corporation knew if this English-speaking group idea worked, these 5 girls would be the best possible candidates to test this idea. And if for some reason these 5 did not perform as well as Cover hoped for, then it just wasn't meant to be because these 5 girls are the best of the best. I still believe that even now, like 2 years later, we have never seen an EN group as talented as this one. Upon debut, all of them crushed 1 million subscribers in a matter of months. And Gura in particular did it in under a month. Yeah, Gura had 1 million subscribers in a matter of weeks. This incredible feat made Gura the fastest growing VTuber of all time. Well, up until only very recently when she was surpassed by a Yuki Sanji member named Hayaku Mendenbara Salome, but Salome's incredible growth is a topic for another video. But Gura still stands currently as the most subscribed VTuber of all time. Salome only passed Gura in terms of the speed in which it took to get to 1 million. And while diving into each of the members' insane accomplishments would probably make this video so long that nobody would watch it, I want to do a quick dive on Callie's insane accomplishments. Why Callie specifically, you may be asking? Only for the sole reason that this is my video and Callie is my Oshi. So you're gonna sit there, you're gonna listen, and you're gonna like it. Callie's music career is insanely successful, to say the very least. Let's just say Callie is signed with debatably the largest music label in the world, Universal Music Group, but she's affiliated with Universal Music Japan specifically. She has multiple music videos with not hundreds of thousands of views, not even millions of views. Let's try tens of millions of views. And has performed these songs live on stage at her very own concert. Callie was also the second in Hololive and third overall to ever hit 2 million subscribers. The only VTubers doing this before Callie would be the queen Kizuna Ai and of course Gargura, as we talked about earlier. Although this statistic could be a little bit wishy-washy on what you exactly consider to be a VTuber, because of course Nux Taku and Pramaru-sama are other VTubers who have hit 2 million subscribers. I'm only going to include VTubers who have been VTubers for their entire career on the internet.
No es la idea.
IP has also been featured on Rolling Stone magazine
Mira,
and has
se
been
ven como
featured on the
bordes
Trash
medios
Taste podcast with
verdes.
The Boys multiple times.
Mira, aquí,
She has
ahí
also
pueden ver
accomplished
el,
being the hottest member in Hololive.
el fondo. Si lo cambio a azul, el borde se vuelve azul. Y es como, ¿por qué está agarrando eso? Se supone que está transparente.
Listen, I understand now that they're super talented and very cut out for the job, and have
Increíble.
obviously proved that through their accomplishments. But to create a whole movement
Te va a sacar igual cambiar los mapas.
to inspire
Tienes
thousands of
razón.
people to become VTubers, for each of them to pull hundreds of millions of
Voy
views
a agregar
per
a
member, I'm sure there
Gumap.
has to be more to it, right?
Oh, los frames. No se vio, pero no importa.
The first thing I must go over before we even start, I want to make it clear, even though Myth did have some advantages that
¿Me
helped in their
uno a
success,
ti o
this
tú te
does not
unes a mí?
discredit
Bueno,
them in
probablemente
any regard.
si no me...
And I
Ahí
don't
voy a
want
ver
anybody to
dónde
even
estás.
get the impression
Si
that
ya
it
estás en
does.
una partida,
So, with that out of the
me
way,
meto a ti.
this leads me to Myth's first huge advantage. Like I stated before, this was the first time a group of VTubers debuted from a huge company that speaks English. And before you go correcting me in the comments, I am well aware
voy a
that
hacer una
Cinderella
partida.
was established before Hollow
Te
Myth
podés
was
unir,
created.
Gumap,
But that's
si
exactly
querés.
why I said from a huge company. Hololive was already a huge company and had a very well-known name. It wasn't just because they came from a company. It was
Es
because they were
interesante
from
desde que me metí en
debatably
ese
the
tema del
biggest VTuber
VTuber,
company
todo
in
lo que uno se
Japan,
encuentra. Es como cuando me metí en el
And with
tema
that, they
de
had shoes to
K-pop.
fill which have never been filled before. There were so many many people who
Hay muchas
wanted to
cosas
watch
que ver.
VTubers, but just didn't know it because they weren't exposed to them yet. Which is why Hololive's exposure, plus having these shoes to fill, played a huge role in them becoming as successful as they did. The members of V Shoujo were actually around at this time too. Remember what I talked about earlier? I said we would get back to that. But this was before V Shoujo was the absolute monster
Dale al
of a company that it is today.
tic,
The second thing that played a role in the explosion of Myth was a particular virus, which I do not want to name because I'm worried about how that will affect this video.
¿Qué tal si hacen el Splatoon 8 vs 8?
People were either inside watching
No.
something or just doing nothing. Nobody was in school, so many people lost their jobs, people were just at home. And it was around this time when
¿qué anda
anime as
haciendo?
well started to become more popular in the
Ay,
West.
también te
I
dieron
remember I
ese
used to get
signo
teased
del
for wearing
founder,
anime-themed
subscriber
shirts,
por
but
un mes.
around this time in 2020, it felt like the exact opposite. I was getting praised by random strangers for being
Jugando Overwatch con los cabros. Ah, verdad, no lo instalé. Tal vez lo instale después. Tengo que eliminar algunas cosas del PC, creo. Un video específicamente. Un video que me toma 30 GB. Y era el del Splatfest. En el que decías Filipino Killer 9000 todo el rato. Y quería hacer algo al respecto.
Anime wasn't doing so hot. Anime was pushed back hard because of the pandemic. Animators couldn't do their jobs efficiently at home.
Ah, ahí está.
And in the voice acting industry in
Bájalo en la
Japan, they like to
Switch.
have all of the voice
También.
actors in the same room together recording.
Pero,
And at this
bueno,
time, that just
tiene,
obviously
¿verdad que
was
tiene
not
el
right. So because of this, there was
¿cómo se llama?
barely any new anime content. So,
El
let me
gyro.
answer that question from
Pero
earlier.
me acuerdo
Where
del
did
de que otros juegos
go?
tenían
Well,
gyro en
there's
el
this
en
really
el
cute shark
Nintendo
anime
y
girl
no se
who's
sentían
playing
tan
horror
bien.
games
Como el de
and screaming
Fortnite no
her
se
head
siente
off.
tan bien. Pero bueno.
Well,
Voy a jugar. Creo que ya ningún personaje es como, oh no, no tienes que hacer aim. Tal vez Mercy, pero ella no. La Mercy no. Igual dispara, po. Skill issue. Pues sí. Pero bueno. No soy muy buena con los shooters. No sé si me volvería fan de los shooters y también me vuelvo buena disparando. La verdad. Probablemente. Algún día lo pruebe.
But anyways, once you get sucked in, especially if your first VTuber group was as amazing as the Myth members are, I don't even want to ask you how would you get out, because the more important question is why? Why would you want to get
Skill
out?
issue.
Don't you like my Reaper?
With hand fan female. Okay, well that was one of the ones. Okay, let's go ahead and put that away. Bye bye, one hand.
But not only did Myth just create
Pelo
a lot of
rosado.
new VTuber fans, but they also created an inspiration for a lot of people to become VTubers themselves. Before Myth was
¿Tienes
around,
otro
there
Brash en el
were
otro
VTubers
team,
in
Gum?
existence, like we talked about earlier, but nowhere even close to the amount that there is today. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of your favorite indie VTubers were inspired by Myth, at least in some way. I guess I don't have any exact proof for this because I can't just call them up and ask them, but considering how much VTubing in the West skyrocketed after the debut of Myth, I don't think it's unreasonable for
Mate
me
al
to
Nico
draw this
Gamer.
and to any of my other VTuber fans who were around before the debut of Myth, I'm sure you would all agree with me on that point. And honestly, this point does not even just go for indies, but even corpo VTubers from other companies who debuted after Hololive EN was created. I think we can fairly point the finger at Myth for influencing a majority of VTubers in the West. And not only just that in particular, but also for creating the first huge exposure so current day VTuber fans could find out about them in the first place. Without the creation of Myth, would we all be down bad degenerates? Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, maybe, considering that Nijisanji was likely bound to come to the West eventually, even if Hololive didn't do it first. But let's not talk hypotheticals, because in reality, Hololive was the first company to make that risky but extremely important decision to give the West a try. And because that is the reality, Cover Corporation is the company we can point at for creating such an influential movement. And they did so with their amazing first group of English-speaking talent, Hololive Myth. I also think it's extremely important to point out that being the first to come wasn't all positives. Because even though it was an incredible opportunity for success,
Lo maté con puras
felt extreme
puntadas.
stress, not only from all the expectations, but because they had nobody besides each other. The good thing about becoming a corporate VTuber in the West now, or even today in general, is that likely whatever company you're applying for, if you do end up making it, you'll probably have at least a couple or even multiple senpais you can ask
Ahí
for
va,
advice
otro
on
Neko
literally
Gamer.
anything that has to do with the job. But even if you were to debut from a new company, or even as an indie VTuber today, you can look at what some of the other successful EN VTubers are doing.
No debería bajarme de aquí porque el tipo me va a venir a querer agarrar
The
inmediatamente.
Myth members, they didn't have this. There was nobody else doing exactly what they were doing in a
Nice.
similar circumstance. I suppose you could just make the argument that they could speak to a JP senpai for support, but you have to
Oh, que no
understand
creí que
the
me
audience in which they were
alcanzaría.
intended to entertain and appeal to was fundamentally different. And because of that, I'm not quite sure how much advice the Japanese members could have really
Skill
given them during the era
issue.
of their debuts. Another thing to remember is not all of the Myth members speak conversational Japanese, so the language barrier was another thing in the way of the Myth members asking a senpai for any sort of
Tenemos
advice
doble
or comfort. And
Inzuka.
that's something that nobody will ever understand besides the Myth members. And
Gam,
in a
saltaste a
way, I
mí,
think the five of them
pero no
were
estoy,
kind of alone.
no estoy en
But
ningún
thanks to
lado.
the help of each other, they were able to debut and overcome virtually everything. No pun intended. But they were able to overcome
Gam
everything
está pegado
and
ahí.
become the legendary icons that we know them as today. And you may not even realize it now, but when an undeniable fate comes upon us one day, the Myth members will all be remembered as legends for these
Qué sad.
reasons. And if you don't believe me, just wait and you'll see.
Pobre Gam, lo vi como un zombie, weón, estaba muerto. Los servers tan duros. Sí, te vi parado en tinta enemiga y te estaban ignorando completamente. Dije, debe ser que en su pantalla ya están muertos. Porque yo aún te veo ahí.
And literally set down the blueprints that would change the internet forever. Without them, a lot of us would have been normal people. and would have been
6
actually
kills,
useful,
2
functioning human
muertes.
beings in society. But now, after being corrupted with their cuteness, we are all down terrible degens who just give their money to virtual anime girls online.
This goes to Sebe. Thank you for the red heart.
Sebe! Hi, Ollie. Hi, Sebe.
Sebe.
Thank you, Sam. I love the It's great. Hello, my favorite fish. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for sopa.
¡Supa!
Well,
Gracias por la sopa, hijas.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video to the end. I really appreciate it because a lot of work went into this video. If you guys think I missed anything important, please feel free to add any points that you'd like down in the comments.
Oh, la raíz de la dismorfia de cuerpo. Perhaps. O sea, me puedo imaginar por qué, así que... Pero igual me gusta escuchar la gente que pone en palabras lo que ando pensando.
Ingrid is fine.
Ingrid?
My name.
Okay.
Ingrid, yeah.
Ingrid, thank you very much for coming on today. Can you tell me a little bit about what we're talking about?
Español.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So, body dysmorphia.
Okay.
Just general strong anxiety about
El server duro.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it, I guess.
Okay, sure. So can you help us understand what you mean by
Se quedó pegado a los subtítulos. Excelente.
So body dysmorphia, I know there's like different kinds of it.
¿Pero qué le pasa? Mi
Transsexual
RAM.
people have one kind of it. I don't have that kind. My kind is that I see my body, my whole appearance as a lot worse than it actually is.
Okay.
So like, the definition is something like overly focused on a flaw in the physical appearance that isn't necessarily there, or is so
Le baila.
significant that no one else can see it.
Okay.
And you're so focused on it that it takes up so much time of your life and gives you so much stress.
Okay. And do you have a particular feature in your body that you spend a lot of time thinking about?
¿Pueden tirarnos un poco más de misiles, por favor?
There's not like one feature that's like, I wish I could change that. It's basically like I can't have a objective view of my body.
Okay.
It's like I don't know how to explain it. I see my body skewed, like distorted.
How do you know that what you see is distorted?
I don't think it's distorted.
Okay, so
but people have told me, professionals I've talked to have told me, so I guess it is.
I mean, it doesn't seem like thinking that your view of your body is distorted does you much good.
No, that's the problem.
Okay. So I'm going to start from kind of a weird place, okay? Let's just assume for a moment that you're right instead of wrong. So just my experience being a mental health professional I've come to appreciate that even though sometimes our mind can think wrong things, so let's think about something like suicide. Like if someone wants to kill themselves, I find that the most effective way to help that person is to not assume that they're wrong and like that life is worth living. It's to actually recognize for that person in that moment, life is not worth it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that paradoxically, like you may think that, you know, talking to a suicidal person about why their life isn't worth living is like the wrong thing to do, because then like, oh my god, what if they kill themselves? Absolutely a possibility. But strangely enough, I think telling people things that are contrary to what they believe, like
tenemos tryhards en el team, no en el team de ellos.
I agree with that. It's like it doesn't help when people tell me, "Oh no, you are pretty" or "You look normal." It's like, thanks, but it doesn't change anything.
Okay, yeah. So
that's not what I want to hear.
What do you want to hear?
Iffy.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to hear.
Okay. So let's.
I guess I kind of like. It would always be nice if someone just told me straight to my face that I look terrible.
What
Because
would
then
be
I don't
nice
have to
about
worry.
that? Yeah.
Then I don't have to worry about it.
Okay. So, Ingrid, right?
Yeah.
Ingrid, I'm so glad you came on today. Can I just share some random
Aún no he
thoughts?
podido subir de
So I
nivel
feel
mi ropa, que eso es lo único que quiero, la verdad. O sea, eso es como el único objetivo a largo plazo.
I don't know why. I just do. I can't make sense of it. It sounds like you've seen professionals before and it hasn't really helped much, so I think every logical thought in my mind is that I'm not going to be able to help you. And yet I feel optimistic today.
Las victorias en Ranked. Con la lavadora. Bueno, no era por la lavadora, era por él. Por lo que estaba jugando con los amigos pros. Una más y me voy porque mañana toca despertarse a las 6. Está bien, Gum. ¿Qué hora es para ti, Gum? Si no te molesta que le haga la pregunta, ¿qué hora es para ti?
When I first got a message, but I didn't really want to say no because like we have everyone on camera. So.
Yeah, but why the fuck wouldn't you? Why are you on camera? Like, what's up with that? Don't you, is that awful for you?
El doctor así como, ¿por qué mierda estás en cámara? Soy de Chile. Ah, entonces está bien. Solamente preguntaba porque era para estar segura. Porque a veces viene gente que no es de Chile, entonces por eso.
I don't know, it doesn't really matter because I never have to talk to you again or like no one in chat. So it's
good. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Great. And also I wanted to just try.
Yeah. Good for you. And I think it's really important. I know this is going to sound bizarre, but it doesn't really matter is I think a wonderful way to live your life. I think so much of the torture that we give ourselves is because we think things matter. We're like, oh my god, if I go to this party and people don't like me, then like, oh my god, it's going to be the end of the world. No, it doesn't matter. And I think that you've actually taken a huge step forward by acknowledging that you don't have to let your perceptions of your body or what you really believe, like, when I say perception implies it's not real. You don't have to let being ugly get in the way of what you do. And that in and of itself is like amazing. Right, let's forget for a moment about whether you are or aren't ugly, but I'm just going to step into your shoes. That's pretty cool. What do you think about that?
I am proud of myself.
Oh, no levanté la mira.
I would never appear on. I don't know, I don't like being on camera at all.
Sure.
And like,
sí, tosar.
2,000 people watching.
Oye, al Fresh le dio...
Yeah.
Le dio lag.
Yeah, so how does it feel to be on camera and on stream? You said you were nervous for the 20 minutes before.
Oh, no vi ahí abajo.
It's fine now. Yes. I don't know.
But everyone's actually seeing you now.
I haven't read the chat, so it's I don't know.
That you should stay away from. Chat is... Don't read the chat, but... So let's just try to. So Ingrid, there are two things that I'd like to talk to you about today. One is to help us understand a little bit about where and how these feelings and perceptions come from. And the second is to forget about all that stuff and just focus on like, why is it that the thought of being on camera and actually being on camera is like two different things? Right? Why is the thought of coming on stream actually more terrifying than actually being on stream? Because that's weird.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Right? And if we can understand that and we can understand how the body dysmorphia occupies your mind and shapes your mind, maybe we can get some power over it, not by addressing it directly, not by telling you that you're a beautiful person, because that's like...
Pobre persona, dijo, conche tu madre, la cagué con ese sniper. Vi cómo se devolvió.
What I'm talking about is the process of it. So how does your mind, like, how does it come up with anxieties, and then when you actually do the thing, it's like easier than thinking about doing the thing.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine that your perception
Justo me estaba acomodando el brazo y se me movió todo.
Keep you from doing things.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that if they keep you from doing things, that may make life harder for you. Not just because you feel a certain way about yourself, but
No puedes, osito, Sad, no te lo permitiré.
Does that make sense? So in a weird way, we may be able to help you out by like not even talking about the body dysmorphia, but just teaching you
Agua líquida, ¿me estás diciendo a mí? Eso me recuerda, hay que tomar agua.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So let's start with, if it's okay with you, we'll start with like.
Finalmente, agua líquida. ¿O finalmente una victoria, dices?
Well,
no me he dado cuenta porque solamente me acuerdo de las victorias que he tenido hoy día. Que no sé cuántas han sido, pero Salmon Run me acuerdo más. Uy, maté Tracy. Ambas. Finalmente, agua líquida y victorias. Aún no subo de nivel estas tonteras de ropa.
So, I spent a lot of time just looking at myself.
Se fue, ¿verdad que dijiste que te voy a ir, Gum? Está bien. Gracias por jugar, Gum.
Sometimes hours.
Tenga unos bonitos sueños, sueñe con agua líquida, a no ser incel.
I take pictures of myself for hours.
Y otras cosas. Yes, gracias por tenerme.
But I delete them all afterwards.
Está bien, sí. Gracias por venir. Yo probablemente también me vaya en poco. ¿Cuántas partidas me faltan para lo de los 10 pesitos? Yo tenía 10 partidas para que terminara esto de los 10. Los 10. ¿Cómo se dice?
I do.
Y que gelatina.
That's the weird thing. Like,
ya se me olvidó, pero el ticket de plata, eso. Chau chau, cumiado.
I just tell myself,
adiós,
like,
kumis.
that's not how I look like, because this is a photo. I see, interesting. I'm just telling myself
¿Qué haces, senpai?
You know how much can
Puedo
be,
creer
like,
que siga aquí con nosotros. Más que nada porque...
I'm just telling myself, like
inseguridades, yo.
Like, because it's a photo.
Sure.
Te mata a alguien que tiene todas las chapitas de Salmon Run. A mí me dijeron, no, si alguien me hace eso. Adiós, cumiadores. Está bien. Cuídese, kumis.
Maybe for like 1 second when I look at the photo.
Right.
But keep in mind, I'm taking maybe like 500 pictures of myself. Maybe 4 of them.
Yeah. So okay. So what I'm hearing you say is that you have a couple of pictures that look okay, and when I repeat that back to you, you respond with, yeah, but that's like 4 out of 500. So it's like, you see what you're doing is you're kind of invalidating what your observations are. You're arguing against the idea that you're actually capable of looking normal or attractive in a photo.
Yeah.
You see how your mind does that?
Yeah.
You said
and
that.
It also,
sorry, go ahead.
It also like, even those 4 pictures. It's an hour later, I don't think I look nice.
Okay, fine.
Oh,
so
ok, cool.
So you say that for a second,
Perdón, pensé que de verdad iba a poder matar. Pues nada, hablando con unos amigos me enteré. ¡Ay, qué bonito! ¡Qué bonito!
It wakes up.
¿Le doy en la cabeza?
That split second is like, oh, maybe my
Acabo de matar a 2 con un tiro. Pero se nota el lag porque los vi separados en mi pantalla.
No, that's because the lighting hits so well, something like that. I'm just trying to tell myself that it's not what I look like because it's a photo.
Yeah. So that's kind of, so I just want you to notice that sometimes your mind is able to appreciate a picture of you.
Oui.
And anytime you start to appreciate a picture of you, this other part of your mind wakes up.
Oh.
And activates. And it says, no, 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 no. No, Ingrid. No, 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 no. It's just the lighting.
Pobre.
You're not attractive. It's just you tricked people into thinking that photo is decent. It's all trickery. It's not the real you. The real you is what? How do you feel about yourself? How do you think you look
like? I just look, I don't know, out of proportion.
Okay.
I feel like...
Mal ahí.
I don't have like a specific picture in my head of what I look like. It's just, I feel my proportions are unnatural. Like, almost as if I had a disease. That's what I think about everything. And
everything meaning yourself?
What? Está lagueando un poquito ese caballero.
My appearance.
Your appearance.
Vamos a perder.
Out of proportion.
Yes.
Wey.
I feel like I look like a goblin or something. Like
a goblin. Me veo como un goblin.
Lord of the Rings or
sure, like a caricature, like it's not like normal looking.
Yeah.
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 Like you have all the pieces that a normal human has, but you don't look like a normal human. Is that how you feel?
Mm.
How long have you... Is it okay if I ask you a few questions about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, you know, just a disclaimer that you can choose not to answer anything.
Mm.
Also, you can tell me to go fuck myself at any point.
Okay.
Okay.
Guau, F. Me faltan 3 partidas más. Probablemente 3 partidas más me vaya entonces.
Exercise both of those options.
Maté 9 veces, pero no sirvió.
Yes.
All right, so how long have you been feeling like you were out of proportion?
Teníamos 3...
Since high school. I'm
3 nubes. 3 personas con especial de nube.
3 years ago. No, not 3 years, 6 years.
Oye, usó el Spider-Man una vez y logró matarme.
It's been a lot.
Con todo el lag del mundo. Evade girls. ¿Por qué se pone así? Evade chicas.
So the actual like classes and such were
le saca foto.
Learning and just reading stuff.
¿Eres Swiffer? Ah, no.
I miss
gente nueva. ¿Quién eres? Who are you?
Didn't really have.
¿El King Cobra estaba antes?
Before high school, I had 2 best friends.
No sí estaba, era el sniper. Ahora se cambió a la...
So I didn't really have.
Se cambió a...
I started there. I didn't know anyone.
Al arco.
And I didn't really get to know anyone.
Me cansé de ser buena. No sé quién es Evade Girl, si viene a la partida de acá. O probablemente nos saque, mira cómo se está demorando.
And went home and did my thing. And I was fine with that. I didn't really feel the need to
cool.
have friends there.
Cool.
Did you feel lonely?
Yo opino que...
Sometimes, but usually
¿Qué opinas? Yo opino que especialmente tomen en cuenta que mi parte favorita de Splatoon 3 es cuando
I always thought that I didn't look feminine at all. I always thought, and I still do, that I look like a 12-year-old boy or something. And I know I didn't look like a girl.
¿A dónde se fueron esos láser?
And it didn't help that everyone in my class had kind of this joke that everyone thought I was lesbian.
No le puedo dar en la cabeza, bro. No sé cómo hay algunos que le puede dar en la cabeza. Yo siento que tiene el medio hitbox el cangrejo.
But the reason they thought I was a lesbian was because first of all, I was
Mató al player. Ah, no, lo maté. Y si tiene el nombre player significa que es terrible de chiquito. Ay, no puedo saltar.
And
Ok, cool.
Board games like fantasy, D&D and such. I like football, yeah. More boy stuff. So I never really felt like... I felt like a woman, but I didn't feel feminine. You know? And I didn't really feel the need to be feminine, but now I do. But I can't.
Do you feel like you kind of missed the boat on it?
Yeah.
Like you could have, if you had acted differently or behaved differently, maybe you would be more feminine.
Me siento menos femenina. Eso me pasa.
Like, how do I say this? My two friends from before high school, I'm still friends with them today. Like, my whole
No creí que le
life,
llegaran los, que le iban a llegar los jugando un modo donde no tiras huevos. A ver si yo más respeto,
very boyish, you know. And I was fine with that. I kind of liked it because I was like, I always got to play.
Justo me moví mucho. Estaba moviendo lentamente mi personaje, ¿no?
So I feel like now I can't go and be feminine because everyone I know, including my best friends, is always. It was always like we always had inside jokes about how I can't wear a dress.
Ese arquero me odia.
It would hurt a little bit, but I wouldn't care. But now I can. There was always be inside jokes about how I cannot be feminine because that's not me.
Creo que no ayuda que tenemos 3 backliners y el güero que está adelante no puede matar, es un spameador de misiles literalmente.
Can I think for a second?
Yeah.
Rayos, había un tipo pintando ahí. Jesse. We need more crotolamo. Descrotolamo. We need more lamidas de bolas. Jesse. Ganamos, what the fuck. Sí, está bien. Pintó bastante el que estaba adelante. Probablemente era el... Tiene pinta de que era el Squeezer. ¿El Squeezer? No se llama Squeezer, ¿o sí? Squeefer. El Squeefer con F. Como el Squiff. Ya, eso. Así se llama literalmente el arma.
Yeah, so maybe it does and maybe it doesn't. But what I'm hearing you say is that
Número 1, apoyo en combate. Sí, como no. Me morí harto, siento. Me morí 2 veces. Wow, sentí que era más. Cringe. Space Girls y cringe.
I guess like when I was 14, I felt it was kind of cool if I was a tomboy or something.
Sure.
Ser tomboy es cierto. No sé, yo digo que la gente a veces es muy cruel con los gustos de las mujeres jóvenes, chiquitas. Digo, todo el mundo se burlaba de Justin Bieber, o Twilight, o K-pop, o la novela de romance de las niñas. Yo digo nomás, los chicos también se burlan entre ellos de así como, jaja, te gusta el hentai, supongo. Pero a veces la gente es muy cruel con los gustos femeninos, así como Justin Bieber gay, jajaja. No es hombrecito, por lo tanto, caca, culo, pedo, pis. Ese es mi punto de vista, espero que le haya gustado. Cringe. Yo solo digo nomás, yo encuentro a veces que la gente es muy cruel con las chicocas jóvenes a veces. Porque al menos yo eso me pasaba en parte. Digo en parte porque tampoco hacía mis gustos muy de saber cuando era más chica aún. En la media ya empezó a dar lo mismo, pero antes no. Bueno, encontramos partida, parece. O nos saca. Oye, cringe. Cállate esta. Pum. Pum. Lo mata. Tú follas. Yo no lo hago porque es para pobres. Bueno, ya, si yo una... Güey, dije eso, dije que follaba. ¿O te refieres a que eso es lo que la gente decía que era cool antes? Y es bacán follar con todos.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Tener polola en todos lados.
I understand that body dysmorphia has a
No.
particular representation in mind, but I find it
Y tú
hard to
follas.
believe that having a particular view of how you look,
Ay, a ver, ¿qué iba a hacer yo?
unable to wear a dress, like I find it hard to believe that those are fully independent. Does that
Yeah,
make
no,
sense?
Ah,
they're probably connected.
tengo que jugar 2
And I
más.
can
Y ahí
understand
me
why it's
iré.
hard to connect them because
Para que sean las 12.
the way
Y la
that
chupa
those bodies look
entonces.
and feel are like very different. Right? If you look
Nada
in
que
the
ver,
mirror
eso
and you
el-
say I'm disproportional,
Sí, son las 12. O no, es la 11, la 11. Pero igual suena, ¿o no?
you say how dare
Igual rima. Mañana hay
Like, those feel like different
clases.
thoughts, but I think there's
Sir
something
Yun.
about
Pero no. No presentamos. Presentamos. ¿Se puede? ¿Se puede?
it's like at some point you didn't
Sí, pues, ¿verdad?
no one allowed you to be feminine,
Yeah.
and then you didn't allow yourself to be feminine. And then instead of not allowing it, it became true. Does that make sense? Like something shifted. I'm getting the sense of a shift where you used to be like, how dare you? And now you're like, I can't. Does that make sense? Like it became like a fact instead of like a choice.
Puto jueves me llega la
I feel like
gráfica.
it would be
La GTX. GTX 3040.
Yeah.
Otro error.
And I know it's like
Hay
it's
otro
pretty
error.
normal for girls to wear male t-shirts and such. So I don't know, maybe it doesn't count, but
Tengo que ganar 2 partidas más, por favor, Splatoon. No te quedes pegada en las últimas 2 partidas. Bro, si me dan las 12 y aún no he jugado a mis 2 partidas, ¿hay problemas con el Splatoon 3? O sea, no necesitaba...
I am a woman.
No necesitaba que se me desconectara todas esas veces para
I
saberlo,
also
pero...
don't get the sense that you're actually a
Que el
transvestite.
Splatoon tenga problemas.
You know what a transvestite is? Yeah. So just the way that I remember it is transvestites are someone of a particular gender who wears another gender's clothing, but it doesn't mean that they think that they're like the word is yeah, it's cross-dressing. So
Yes.
it's not actually like, you know, a man who wears woman's clothing doesn't think that they're a woman and they're not
Piripipiri.
homosexual. Has nothing to do with like sexuality or gender identity. It's just
La pelota.
you know, the trick that I used to remember when I was learning this stuff is
Amigo loco. Puta.
so it's about what you wear on the outside.
Yo tengo
It's not
sueñito,
nothing
así
about
que...
who you are on the inside.
Da eso.
But I'm not getting the sense that you're a transvestite.
¿Verdad que iba a seguir un dibujo que tenía en mente?
Another way, it's
Hace rato no publicaba dibujos en Instagram y ahora publiqué
I want to
uno.
wear female feminine clothes, but I can't.
También tengo que publicar ese mismo par en...
I don't really wear men's
Tengo que
clothes.
publicar un par de cosas también en Twitter.
But I would be more comfortable wearing
Bro,
it, but not because I
bro,
want to.
ni siquiera jugar una partida.
Because it's uncomfortable for you to wear.
Yeah, I don't want to wear
Qué terrible.
clothes. But I
Con
would
esto dan
rather-
ganas de un stream de dibujo. Pero no puedo, dije, puedo grabar mi pantalla del iPad, porque con ese dibujo ya no dibujo con el PC porque me hace la tablet vieja que tengo, una tablet muy chiquita y muy viejita.
feminine clothes, like this t-shirt.
Y me hace doler la muñeca, porque tengo tan poco espacio que solamente muevo la muñeca y se me tensa mucho.
Yeah.
What do you want?
No one.
Aura Knight, sálvame. Ella se estaba uniendo a mí todo el rato. Y ahora ya no se
I don't know,
unió.
it's just
Se cansó de mí. Resulta ser un super furro. Yo sí soy. Pero yo digo que soy furry y todo super furro hasta que me preguntan, ¿tenéis traje? O weas así. Yo digo, no tengo traje porque plata, ¿para qué voy a gastar la plata en eso? No lo gasto ni en los álbumes de los BTS y lo voy a gastar en un... No tengo un personaje, así que no lo gastaría en un fursuit, porque encima no tengo personaje del que vaya. Sale a disfrazarse de un furriculón. O sea, ¿verdad que viene Halloween? No hay excusa para disfrazarse. No, pues verdad. Oye, pues si yo no habíamos dicho. Que íbamos a tener una fiesta de disfraces. Pero después dijimos, no hay plata para arrendar. Tú que aplastaste tu... Tú aplastaste tu máscara de la Scary Movie con tu tremendo poto, po.
Even feeling some degree that way myself, not so much about appearance, but that I was less than human in a lot of ways, and I didn't want to be exceptional for the best. I just wanted to be normal.
Yeah, I don't need to be. I don't need to like feel like I'm gorgeous, but just a normal would be. I just want to feel not terrible, like not like a goblin.
Like a goblin, pobrecita.
When did you start to feel like a goblin?
I haven't actually thought about it that way before, but
think about things like that.
But I guess the last year has been very, like, yes, peaked.
Okay. Yeah, so we're not talking about the peak, right? So you say you play D&D?
Yeah, a little bit, not a lot, but...
You like fantasy stuff?
Yeah.
Uf, gracias por el escudo, amigo.
You know, looking at something from the fantasy genre, whether it be a video game, a book, or a movie, or whatever, and like looking at a picture of like a monster or a goblin, and thinking like, well, that's what I look like. That's me.
Not really, no. It's... I've never... When I've actually looked at them, I've never related to it, but it's
Goblin.
in my mind.
And what about when? So you said high school is when you started. You didn't have many friends in high school.
I was neutral. So no, I didn't really have friends. I didn't have anyone hanging out.
Oh. ¡Ah! ¡Ah! Me equivoqué. Pero si sale algo igual me da paja de arrendar. Da paja arrendar y también la plata.
Actually, because I still had my two best friends in the other school that I saw in my spare time sometimes.
And are your best friends girls or boys?
Girls.
And are you still close with them?
Yeah. Not so much one of them, but because he moved, but the other one I'm still close with.
Can you tell me a little bit about your parents and what growing up was like?
I probably had the ideal childhood. Parents are they've stayed together. We've never struggled with money. My parents have always been supportive.
No explotan las minas.
Always kind of,
o sea, no explotan cuando las dejo puestas al final.
Idea of how to
Colaboración del Scary con el Anonymous. De hecho, sí me disfracé de esas cosas. Sé por lo mismo. Clásicos de Irion. Irion, te falta... si no te hubieras sentado en la máscara con tu tremendo poto, ya sabéis, ¿no? Con tu guata de embarazado. No lo digo por guatón. Por si acaso. Ya ni sé por qué te decía que estabas embarazado, bro. Dale, porque lo estabas. Una partida más, chicos. Una partida más y nos vamos de aquí. Y aprovecharemos la oportunidad para hacer una predicción. Pero esta vez no puede durar. No puede durar tanto tiempo. No veo la web cuánto dice que va a durar. Porque si dura 5 minutos ya la partida habrá terminado.
With limitations, of course.
Bueno, la cagamos, no alcancé.
Oh, yeah.
30 segundos, tomen ahí. Ahí está.
Everything was fine.
Is your mom feminine?
Yeah. She's not super feminine, but she wears dresses and she doesn't wear makeup.
Si nunca dije que me senté sobre la máscara. Bueno, yo lo dije, po. A tu tremendo puto.
She dresses feminine, but she's also very how do I say this? She has characteristics of more like a masculine, like she's handy and
Le di con la cabeza.
Same with my sister. She has always been very feminine.
Has always been very.
Yes.
Older or younger?
Older, 3 years old.
Do you remember?
En el... Le di justo al quien sea que haya sido ese.
So you were 14, she was 17. Do you remember thinking about the difference between?
No sé ni siquiera si alcanzaron a votar, pero no
But
importa.
not in a negative way.
Yep.
Just that we were different. Very different. She was very... she wore makeup, she wore feminine things. She explored a lot with fashion and just ways of expressing herself through clothes and makeup and such. She liked more feminine things. When she was 15, she loved Twilight. Yeah, all that stuff.
Ninguno tiene
like it,
Traizuka,
but I
no,
feel
ninguno.
Who am I to say it's bad because I'm not the target audience? It's good for 12-year-olds, I guess. So,
I
or
think
14.
if you don't Twilight,
I guess. I don't like it, but I.
No, se me va a apagar la pantalla en 60. No, ya no.
I can't even see how a 14-year-old
No.
Se cansó de mí el arco.
What I'm hearing you say, Ingrid, is that when you were in early high school, you started. You've known that you aren't very feminine, but it really wasn't a problem.
Oh, ese tipo se anda haciendo squidback, parece. Lo vi.
I guess when most people around me started, when people teenagers reach a certain point where there's suddenly a difference between boys and girls.
Se va a ganar, chiquillos.
There's not much difference.
Había una persona ahí, inmediatamente el amigo saca la Traizuka.
But
y él es Senpai. Senpai dice L. Maldita sea, dice. Espero que no hayas apostado todos tus puntos, bro. De todas formas, no sé cómo quedó la... Si más gente votó. Vamos a ver. Porque si no... 10 puntitos. Te los hubiera devuelto, la verdad. Te devuelvo los 10 puntitos. Sí. Son solamente poner no. Solo aposté 10. Está bien. Determinamos aquí. 7, maté 7. Andaba burlándose, parece harto el I. Mi cara. El I. Andaba burlándose bastante. Más que nada porque lo vi haciendo squidback. Oh, el pobre Kamure murió 7 veces. El Yuishi no mató a nadie, besito. Estaba medio hardcoreito. Está bien. Ya hice esta cuestión, ¿no? Sí. Creo que voy a dejarme comprar un ticket de dinero. Por suerte, Y. No sé cómo se le dirá esa Y rara. Wow, he subido en el pase de batalla. Vamos a ver qué me dan. Me van a dar una caja sorpresa, ¿no? Sí. Wow. Nada, importante, fue perdido. Distintivos. Ah, el del emite ondas. No, me gusta quedarme con los de Salmon Run. Para que vean que soy... Para que les dé más vergüenza perder contra mí. Ya, eso nomás. Catálogo, eso era. Miren, o sea, dice nivel 20, pero ya llegué al siguiente, como pueden ver. Ya llegué al 100. En combate car territorial no he hecho nada. Bueno, en fin. A ver si me alcanza la plata para comprar ¿Alguno de los stickers que no tenga o algo que no tenga?
A lot of
Tengo, no tengo.
judging something and wanting that thing.
No tengo tampoco de este. Graffiti
Like, I
Pearl.
can almost sense like in your mind like a sense
Hime.
you don't really want to
Ah,
be
por eso
feminine,
dice
like, you want to
Perla.
be feminine,
Pregunta.
but you don't really
Porque
care.
pareciera que dijera Hime. Y Hime
it's like there's
es
a part of you that,
princesa,
like,
que
wants
es como
to
el
wear
nombre en
dresses, and there's
japonés
a part of you
de
that's, like,
Perla.
completely
Hime.
happy being masculine and, like, it's kind of
Un poquito,
shallow
solo un
and,
poquito.
like, makeup is sort of
Ya tengo
silly, but
esto,
at the
ya.
same time,
Oh, 19 me salió ese. Ups. Aún me falta desbloquear estas armas de aquí.
I kind of disagree with you on that because
Falta...
I'm sure you didn't mean it like that, but I feel like
Esta nomás creo.
you
Una
said
de nivel
that
30. ¿Cuál
sounds
es? Esta, la
more
Ballpoint. Garabateadora.
important thoughts are more like masculine.
Está bien. Vamos a dejarlo hasta ahí
while shallow
entonces.
things are feminine. That's what I
Gracias,
heard. I know you
señor
didn't mean it like
doctor.
that.
Señor doctor. Por su insight. Fullness. ¿Por qué me dices? Mira. Güey, no pueden ver. Mira. Tengo un stylus. Burro. Vamos a ver los posts de la plaza. A ver qué dicen. ¡Qué bonito! ¡Qué bonito! Es Fry. Fry. They love each other. Furry. Ma'am. El de... ¿Cómo se llama? El de Team Fortress 2. Pearl Woomy. No sé qué más será. Pearl Woomy. Debe ser Perla y Marina, ¿no? To be honest, this game is stale without squid bits. Without squid bits. Ese es... Squid bits. Es un grupito que hay en... Balls. Balls. Excelente. ¿Cómo le puedo dar like? Tengo que ir para atrás de la persona. Balls. Exacto. Balls. I can't draw hands. Le tapa la mano. Autismo. ¿Qué opinas de eso, Siryun? Sonic CD. Vamos a ver qué otras cosas más hay. Ay, no, esta persona no tiene nada porque son con los que he jugado. Este es... Cefalo Rock. Wait. Ah, no, creí iba a decir. Era alguien que tengo de amistad. The Coomer. No te vayas, Coomer. Coomer D. D. Pero hay que verle el nombre. The Kumis. A ver, ¿qué más hay acá? Mure. Mi pololo acá, el enrizo. No, mentira. No, mentira. Oh, Poto. Oye, ¿qué dice? Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you, since you don't have any. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. ¿Por qué estaba viéndole el poto? Poto. Ay, sí vi este en Twitter, le di un like. Está bonito, ¿no? ¿Que está bonito? Sí, señor. No lo puedo dejar de ver. Inked my pants. Se pintó las pantalones. Ah, esa es la marca está la Anak. Anaki. Aquí, esta es la marca. Anak. Anal. Sí, lo dije, ¿y qué? Aquí podemos ver más posts. Jellyfish. Se nota que juegas con Peque. ¿Con P? Importas. Furry. ¿Cómo? Exacto, no entendí tampoco. Aquí la gente juega el jueguito de este culeado. Igual entrete, pero no. Por la build que tiene. Ah, me refiero a que juega competitivo por la build que tiene. Ah, lo estáis viendo. ¿Con peruanos? Con P. Con P, titivo. La Marina. I beat story mode and the secret kettle and my brain. My brain is fried. Se me ha quemado el cerebro. Ustedes estuvieron aquí cuando jugué el nivel final. Ese nivel ultra hiper mega difícil. After Altern. She took the kids. Please help me. Creo que acá arriba hay más cosas. Gente, digo. Creo. Tengo que ir a pata para todos lados. Please. Please. Please use your specials. ¡Ay, verga! I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot. I'll be back. Wait, ¿qué dice? If I eat it soap, I don't eat it. I did. No, I didn't. Oh, wait, ¿qué dice? If I eat it soap, I don't eat it because I did. No, I didn't. Soap. Maybe, please, be friends. ¿Me puedo tirar de aquí? No puedo. Tengo que ir a pata. Más furry. No. Bueno, está bien. Solamente que sentía que era muy extraña la forma. Kumis. Nos faltan un par más de personas que ver. She took the kids. Todo esto. Pues vimos a esa persona de acá. ¿Qué decía el azul? Tan tan tarán. Ah, furry. De verdad. Se movió de lugar. Aquí que dice. Take center first for best map control. Ink base on respawns. Tips. Es cierto. La gente siempre dice, por favor, pinten su spawn. Y es cierto, pero hey, píntenlo después. Primero lleguen al centro, porque si no, ya ustedes van a haber terminado de pintar la base y después les agarran a combo, porque los buenos ya se tomaron el centro y ya están de cerca de ustedes. Eso es todo lo que digo. Upip, umi. Quería aplicar el conservero. ¿Conservero? Big Man. Posmiku. No leo más. Also, constats trans rights. Ah, eso dice. Postea Miku. Also, trans day rights. No sé leer. ¿Qué será eso? Me pregunto yo. He will explode soon. He's about to die. No sé qué quiere decir. Dia Fusioctolin. Splatover 2022. Ah, ¿verdad? Linktober. The big run is coming. ¡Ay, ay! Oh. Oh. Está bonito ese. Es el peluche. Yo tengo ese peluche para el locker. Para el locker, no en la vida real. No creo que yo vaya a tener un peluche de los Salmon Run. Grass Team Splatfest. Ah, ¿verdad? Que el Splatfest, el próximo Splatfest va a ser de hierba versus agua versus fuego por el Pokémon. ¿Qué elegirían ustedes, caballeros? Yo elegiría hierba. No sé si el Duskull Mi pololis va a tener el juego antes de eso. Pero no sé si él elegirá hierba, probablemente. Pero sí, ojalá lo elija para que estemos en el mismo team y eso. Y al menos yo elegiría eso. Eso me refiero. Team Grass. ¿Qué es eso? Parece un perrito con la cola parada. Está mostrando la cola. Tal vez es el salmón chiquito. Sup. Kuro-chan. Kuro-chan. Arisu. Don't worry, I will in your base too. My remaining shell. One last chance. Today's gacha yielded squad. Ha! Hey, Grease. How about a cash advance? Punch the brain. Golpea el cerebro. Hierba, Siryun, anda ahí voladito. Ah, ga. Ah, ahí está el perro de nuevo. El perro que le di like accidentalmente. Está bien. Yo creo que con eso se termina. Miren, la caja de amiibo. No sé qué si vamos a obtener esa ropa que muestra ahí. Sería interesante. En fin. Con esto le damos por acabado. Ahora sí que sí. Bueno. Gracias por ver, chiquilines. Y todas las cositas. Espero volver pronto. No sé qué voy a traer a la próxima. Aparte de Splatoon 3. O sea, me gusta ver videos porque... no sé, si me voy a quedar viendo videos por bastante rato es como... Ok, supongo que voy a streamearlo. Entonces eso. Pero bueno, volveré con algo. Tal vez. Perhaps. No sé si Overwatch 2, como decían los cabros. Ni idea. Pero con algo volveré. Ya, bueno, muchas gracias por ver. Ya saben ustedes, si de verdad yo creo que el otro lugar en el que me pueden seguir, como ya he dicho, era el Instagram. El Instagram. Bueno. Diviértete con tus amigos. Oh, me sacaron ahora el link. Qué buen link, hermano. Bueno. Listo. Ah, ya sé por qué sacó el link. Es porque creo que hace poco le puse esta cuestión de que no haga funcionar los hipervínculos si alguien los manda. Probablemente Stream Elements no tiene esto de mod. Espérate. Pero bueno, en fin. Ya saben, Instagram, todo eso. ¿Puedo modear a estas personas? Sí, puedo. Ahora probemos si sirvió o tengo que hacer otra cosa. Ahí sí, po, ¿viste? Todo bien. No se burlen de mí, hijos de la... Güey. A ver, ¿qué dirá? ¿Qué dirá si pongo esto? ¿El canje de hidratarse? Nah. Yo me hidrato sola. Bro, no dice nada. No dijo nada. Lo ignoró completamente. Ok. Ya, bueno, está bien. Quería que dijera asterisco. Por eso. Pero está bien. Váyanse de aquí, burlescos. Uy. Ya, bueno, cuídense. Duerman bien, beban agua. Toda la cosa esa por allá. Y nos veremos pronto con mis bordes verdes. ¿Quieren verme en azul? ¿Quieren verme en pink? Al menos le dejaría los bordes rosados. Yo creo que así lo dejaré. Solamente por los bordes rosados, bro. Asterisco. Exacto, bro, exacto. Ya. Buenas noches, chiquilines. Nos vemos pronto. Cuídense. Besitos. Bye, bye.